It is still blinking. It's still blinking, y'all. What is going on with my clock? It's still blinking. For real. Let me see. Did I send that to myself? Did I send it to myself? Did I send it to myself? Child, I did it. 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 I'm gonna have to send it to myself. Okay, so look at that, child. It is still blinking. What is going on with my doggone situation here? It's still blinking. I gotta look this up. What is the spiritual meaning of a blinking clock? I need to know it. Because it gotta mean something. Is it still blinking? Still blinking. Okay, let's see. All right, it says it right here. It signifies a disconnection from a power source, prompting a spiritual need to reset, refocus, and reconnect with divine or inner energy. It signifies a moment to pause, reevaluate priorities, and recognize that a new beginning or a spiritual reset is required. Oh, yes, that's what it's saying. Okay. All right, that's what it's saying. Okay. And key spiritual interpretations. Okay, it stopped at 12:37. It has stopped, so it's not nothing wrong with my phone, my clock. It stopped at 12:37 and it began at 12:28. 12:28. How many minutes did that take? What is going on? That was 9 minutes. Okay, so it says disconnection and reconnection. Similar to a power outage, a blinking clock indicates that you may feel disconnected from your purpose or spiritual center, prompting a need to re anchor yourself, a call to action to reset. It is a prompt to reset your life's priorities, particularly if you have been living on autopilot and neglecting important spiritual or personal goals. It's a moment of reflection. The flashing serves as a reminder to live in the present moment rather than being stuck in the past or being anxious about the future. In some spiritual contexts, flickering lights or electronic disruptions like a blinking clock are considered messages from higher powers or angels to pay attention to your current surroundings. And then it did blink around in the 12 noon, right? Often represents a full cycle or need to return to the beginning to start fresh. It serves as a reminder to maintain hope and spiritual alertness during times of uncertainty. Stop procrastinating and start focusing on what truly matters, treating the present time as a precious opportunity to measurement. Y'all, that is the reason that my clock was blinking. So I'm gonna have to put this on the short as a timestamp, and it did it from 12:28 to 12:37. So for 9 minutes. Remember I told y'all something about 9. Okay? So let me write that down. My daughter bought me a new little deck, and she didn't know that it was going to be this small. So we'll see. And look, 52. Oh my God. I'll be 52 this year in June. So 12:37 is when it stopped. It began at 12:28, which was 9 minutes. So again, we're here now at part 14. We're gonna talk about it. We finna get into it. I don't know if I'll be able to do any other videos other than this one today and the one I just did that went into something else. I did take the time to write him back. Okay. So I took the time to do that. And yeah. Oh my gosh, y'all. So yeah, I have been feeling extremely overwhelmed by my physical things going on, right? I mean, overwhelmed. I'm going to pull some from here to see what it's talking about. This is a new deck my daughter bought me. She said she did not know it was going to be this small like this. But like I said, look what it says. 52. Intuition is not logic or proof. It's a whisper within, leading to truth, even when unheard. A knowing that already lives inside me. Do I trust my subconscious? What intuitive knowing do I feel, even if I can't explain it? Intuition. So it has different cards. Acceptance, action, beyond the past. She is a mindfulness deck for becoming, belonging, and being. The deck holds 52 cards. 50 of them are divided into 5 paths. Each path touches a distinct sphere of inner life and holds 10 cards. Each path is equally important, like one of the pillars of inner wholeness. There are also 2 separate cards. They don't belong to any of the 5 paths, but they are not outside of the process. They are present everywhere, not attached, yet fully here, like spaces that move through it all. This particular deck is not about the right answers. It's about a gentle touch inward, about questions that don't press, but open space to see, to hear, to be. Sometimes it's silence, sometimes a voice, sometimes movement. She is an invitation to inner dialogue, to a daily practice of being with yourself through journaling, self-reflection, coaching, and soft inner presence that needs no explanation. These are mirror cards. I was talking about that, right? Guide cards, sometimes like an embrace, sometimes like a question. Take one. How does it speak to you today, right now, right here? So I guess these are the paths. Inner voice, authenticity, or what? Action or something. So we'll keep those out because they don't look like they go with these. Okay. Oh, I'm tired. I'll get out and I haven't even began. Oh gosh. All right. Oh. Oh, Holy Spirit, please. Help me make it through the session. I need the strength. My body is really, really, really Tired. And I have been running on supernatural fuel. Mm. The weather keeps doing it. And the birds have really been talking by my window a lot. So I appreciate when I can actually hear the birds and not all the ghetto hood ass noises. Like, nuisances. Oh, oh my gosh. Let's see what comes out. I call in the elements of fire for love's compassion, water for the soul's purification, air for the flow of communication, and earth to ground me in healing protections, provisions of my ancestors, my guardian angels, cosmic elders, and the divine feminine spirit that created us all, calling the councils of the highest white light to make these messages plain, crystal clear in Christ consciousness, Jesus' name, also known as Yeshua. Ooh. Okay, so let's see. Trying to get this work done. Healing looks like a card about personal signs of healing, about the moments when we feel a little more whole. What does healing look like for me? What are the signs that show I am recovering? What helps me to heal? I can ask for help. So I'm going to go ahead and look at what's on the back. I can ask for help. Choice. A card about the moment of choice. Not always between good and bad, but between desire and what's right. It's also about readiness to take responsibility for the chosen path. What am I choosing and what is it really? Do I feel responsible for my choice? What choice leads me to my truth? I won't stop because. Yeah, this fatigue. This fatigue is taking me out. I was like, I just want to go to sleep. Right now. Mm. Yeah. So, I can start with a card about beginnings. Even if the path is long, you can start small. Sometimes one step changes everything. What can I start with right now? What is my first, even tiny step? What's already in my hands? Who I want to be. So we have on the board, I can ask for help. I won't stop. Who I want to be. It's like saying something on the back of the cards. I love these. And what's so crazy is that me and my daughter is always like telepathically connected because I was looking at these cards. However, I didn't know that they were many either. I think I actually seen them on Amazon. What brings me joy? This card is about everyday little things that give the body a moment of warmth. Joy isn't always loud, it lives in the details. What did I feel today that made me smile? What little things give me a sense of living warmth? Breathing. Well, we gotta breathe. I like it. I apologize to my body. Yes. I want to treat you better. I want to heal you. I love you. I need you. Let's get back in a position of wholeness, strength, healing, eating right, eating in a way that you need me to feed you. I take a stance today to get back in a holy matrimony with my body, my sacred temple. I need my body. I need my body. I love my body. I love my stomach. I love my cellulite. I love my stretch marks. I love my body. Oh, I love you. Let's get back together. Let's get back together. I don't want to separate from you. I love my body. So we got to give ourselves a hug. We got to give, I love you. I love you. Instead of waiting for someone else to come and love on us and nurture us, we got to love ourselves. We really got to love ourselves. I love you, Elizabeth Marie. I love you. Ooh, this feels different. Ooh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I apologize to my body. This card is about bodily guilt and forgiveness for neglect, for shame and self-criticism, and about beginning to treat yourself with care. Do I treat my body with respect and care? What would I like to apologize to my body for? Everything that was just stated right here is what I've been going through over the years with my body. Okay? Intimacy. Yes. Yes. And then there's a man on there. So we shall see, man. This is crazy, balls. We shall see. What's going on? Hey, what's going on? Okay. Okay. Ooh, whose voice is this? So I just heard Spirit say, look down. Whose voice is this? Ooh. Let's go with that one. Envy. Oh. Envy doesn't judge, it reveals. What we envy often reflects unconscious longings and hidden desires. What true desire hides behind my feelings of envy? What would I do if I allowed myself this longing? Yeah, interesting. Interesting. I like these. Perfect. And then the fact that they're small like that, I think I could be able to put them right here. Oh, these are great, my love. I'm going to show her which ones I got for today's picks. So I'm going to leave those out, and I'm going to put them over here on this other little tower. So welcome in, guys. Welcome in, welcome in. I mean, you know what? I really need to start really practicing this more. Like, just, I mean, it really hurts to even hug myself. My muscles are hurting so bad. But I did go through body shaming and guilt. And I talked about this on the part 8. Is it part 8? I always forget the parts. But I'm getting more organized, okay, to remember. The part, was it part 8? Yes, part 8, yesterday, under the arts and crafts by ZAHNAE, that right there. I talked about, you know, different things that I dealt with. Well, maybe, was it that part? I think I did touch upon it, about feeling, you know, the certain shame and guilt, things like that, that happens with our bodies. We're not even consciously aware that we're doing that, because if we ever dealt with any sexual trauma in childhood, it can manifest as show up in our lives as self-hate, self-loathing, self-neglect, negative self-talk, not believing that you're worthy. And I'm really learning how to identify when that happens. Oh, when I said that if I'm watching somebody on, let's say, a YouTube channel, and they trigger me to, like, reflect upon myself, something that they're, you know, doing or acting like, I allow myself to feel that feeling and validate it, because it is 100% a way to self-reflect. Okay, and people that don't want to see how you choose to self-reflect wants to just say, oh, you be judging people. No, I'm telling the truth. So however that person, watching that person triggers me to tell the truth about what I'm seeing, that's always going to be automatically reflective back onto you. So too many people will say stuff like, oh shit, he left her. There's feminine energies that'll be saying shit about how a woman lost her partner, how they separated, but yet and still you'll be listening to her talk and talk shit about that person and literally not reflect that she actually talking about herself. Mm, mm, interesting. Interesting. And this is the reason why I refuse to continue to live life without telling the truth. So with telling the truth, it's automatically going to require you to self-reflect. I had to write that down. It's automatically going to require you to self-reflect. I promise you this. I promise you this. I promise you this. Telling the truth that I meant to say about others. It will. Okay? It will. It will. It absolutely will. If a masculine is talking about, I mean, shit, if I had a woman like that, I mean, he don't know how to treat her. He don't know how to treat her, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because if I had a woman like that, I mean, the way she blank, 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 blank towards him and take care of the fam and whoop the whoop, man, I mean, I'm out here, shit, toughing it by myself. I wish I had a woman that a wife like that, a woman that I could wife up and see how he reflecting. He's reflecting on himself by talking about his brother or his best friend or some other masculine that he's discussing what has angered him about this man not seeing how lucky he is that he has a woman of that caliber to honor him and be the queenship of their kingdom. And he's saying that he out there toughing it alone and praying to God for his wife to come. So you see how he's self-reflecting. But let's say it's another guy in the group jealous of old guy right here. He finna start popping his gums. Ah man, he just saying that shit, man. He just idolizing that dude. That dude, man, that dude ain't shit. That dude, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why she left his ass. That's why she left his ass. So now he's the character of envy. And not he's not finna self-reflect at all. He's not finna self-reflect at all. Oh no. There's a difference. Okay? He's telling the truth, but the way he's saying it is out of like jealousy, envy that he has a beautiful wife. Because he hasn't dealt with his own internal insecurities and feeling like he's not worthy for whatever reasons, you know? So telling the truth about other people will automatically cause you to self-reflect. That's how you know if you just gossiping or you telling the truth. So it's a lot of times people can't handle that real strong truth. They can't handle it. They cannot handle it. You know? So they'll be, oh, you just being negative, you just nagging, you just this and this. That's deflecting from the truth. So you learn a lot. That's the reason why I always talk about the cards of your destiny book for somebody who really truly feels they want to become a scholar in a position of life coaching, relationship counselors. The cards of your destiny is a great book that doesn't have anything to do with going to get a college education degree to certify you as knowing how to truly see people at their core and understand what has broken down that core has caused them to operate in a very troublesome like personality from day to day, from moment to moment. And we learn this through relationship with other people, and it starts with family. So I mean, I'ma always push these two books right here, child. I'ma always push these two books right here because I promise you, you don't know that I wouldn't have got this far that I got without. I haven't really tapped deep, deep, deep into this book is to show you how your partners in crime is your partners in crime in life. No, I haven't. My daughter did. So the fact that I saw she was able to break it down, and she's only had like one serious relationship at the age of 30. So she was able to see how it looks, da 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 da. She actually did a profiling for me and Michael Wayne, and she actually did a profiling for me and my husband, my ex-husband, and she did a profile for me and Quasi. So, yeah. And this is the one. This is the one. I mean, really reading into this book helped me see me without some kind of kooky ass so-called therapist who has a degree, which was an Asian guy who was gay and had the audacity to tell me that it's the way he was talking to me, that the tone was off. And I just took offense to a gay man in a sassified ass way trying to tell me how to love a black man. He was a gay Asian man trying to tell me, a black woman, how to love a black man. Interesting. Totally interesting, right? Yeah. So that was when I said I'm going to start writing my thoughts down and rereading my stuff later on. And every time I've done that, I am blown away. Two reasons. Two ways that always blow me away is that I'm like, wow, I wrote that like a year ago. And then the way I'm thinking now and what's happening now. So that's this is like the time is just fluid, right? And also how reflective I was about myself where I currently was at that time, and how much I've grown since that short period of time. Which in the moment it felt like, oh my God, it's gonna take forever. Just like living here in this situation, in my health, everything like that's what these videos be about. I would set my answering machine, right? In my voicemail note or whatever. What do you call it? My voicemail. And I would record that. Like, it would take me at least 5 to 6 times before I was okay with hearing my own voice back to me. Right? So that gotta mean something. I was very, very interested in how my emotions was coming through my voice. And I play it back. I'm like, do I want to sound like that? And I really had a lot of difficulty expressing myself sexually. Okay? So it makes sense that when you go through some kind of a very, very detrimental, like, you don't really just see how detrimental it is to be sexually abused as a child, and then have it happen again in your teenagerhood, and then it continues with men after that, and it's like, what the fuck? And you literally don't realize how you're hating that you are actually alive, breathing in a physical body that is attracting this type of attention. So you really get into a space of, well, I mean, I don't know what's they all hooping and hip hip and hooray and, oh, I want to be with you, baby, because I don't feel that way about myself. What do you want to be with? I'm not saying this physically with words. I mean, literally with speaking words like that to him, but whatever was happening inside of me, all that was going on inside of me was it was emitting this energy of Yeah, nobody gonna want me. So certain type men showed up and said, I want you to wake me up. Be like, wait a minute, what are you doing here? I don't like you. What are you doing? Yeah. That shit deep. It's deep. It's so deep. So this book right here helped me see me. Helped me see me. I went into it reading about me. Of course, I had all kind of good God sense that it was gonna tell me possibly about my childhood, but that's what made it so intriguing to keep going because I wanted to heal. My whole intention was to heal myself, and then it expounded upon keep myself alive. When all the doctors, oh, you got this, you got that, here, take all these pills, and what? And so I just started making my how you want to say, pact with God, pact with the creator, like, hey, it ain't looking good for me. The way this world is set up, you got to have all this here money and all this here shit. Then my mama kept telling me, it ain't got shit to do with your money and what type of insurance card you got. It's the hospital and the damn people in it that's running it and shit. And she wasn't lying. There was times when my mom would say, she always cursed a lot. She always would seem to be angry all the time. But there was times she would say stuff that was so profound as you keep living life and you see what she was saying. And so I was just making my peace with the creator, like, hey, I just don't want to suffer. Please don't let me suffer for a long time and my body like hurting, and that's exactly what I've been going through. So and I'm like, I don't want to be mad when I cross out of my body. You know what I'm saying? So I decided, well, if I'm gonna be sick like this, wheelchair, if I'm gonna pass away, let's say my mom passed away at, how old was she? Let me look it up. It's been like 15 years or so, 15 some years, some shit. Let me look it up. Let me type it up. My mother passed away at the age of 54. Really? What the fuck? Every time I do that, I'm like, she couldn't have been. Like, did they fuck with the time or something? Like, I'm serious. Every time I say this and I type it up, it's the weirdest shit. She was 53. Yeah, she was 53, girl. She was 53. So you actually need to put, in order for me to get it right, I actually need to say 2009 minus her year. Yeah, yeah, because she actually died March 1st, 2010. And her birthday is March 25th, which is coming up in 2 days. So, yeah, she died on the 23rd. I mean, she was buried on the 23rd. All kinds that was a thing. Anywho, she was 53 when she died, and I'm 51. So it makes sense when I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes one time, and he was talking about his father passing away at whatever age that was, and as he started approaching that age, he really started. Bishop T.D. Jakes is a Gemini, as in to understand how he's as he's such an orator, okay, a speaker, a communicator, an excellent communicator, okay, and if you read his books too, um and he said he was really worried about that. He was really concerned about that, and that makes sense. It's not just because you're aging, right? It's because you don't realize what type of things that are running in your bloodline that you are going to get a certain version of it that nobody else did. So once I started being diagnosed with certain shit, I was like, well, my mom always had this issues with her digestive and but she never had bone and muscular issues, arthritis, or anything of that. She was a cigarette smoker up until probably about maybe, I don't know. I'll give her a solid year of not smoking before she died. I'll give her a solid year because she was on oxygen, so and needed it. She had to have it, right? Um, and she could light her cigarette. She could, light her cigarette and do the little ritual, hitting the pack and getting one out and flick it and light it. And so she never had arthritis issues. She could still sign her name. I was not signing all her paperwork and stuff. So I was like, how the fuck do I got this shit? So I went to that mentality first. Like, how do I got this shit? And then I was remembering my grandfather had something with his skin. He was a very light skinned man anyway, Frenchman, from about to say California, from Louisiana. And he literally like skin like started like changing, like he got really light. So I started noticing when the doctor was telling me about my skin, it's in my skin. And I was like, oh my gosh, my grandfather had that. But my grandfather did not have like the arthritis and all of that. So I was like, what the fuck? Where did it come from? See? So you start thinking like that, as you start being diagnosed with things. I never consider nothing that I'm going through. That's why I say my age proudly. I never see anything that I'm going through have anything to do with being old. I make jokes of it, make fun of it by saying, "Who shit? I got my old lady toes. I'm getting my old lady hair." I say it, but I'm loving it. I'm not, like, oh my god, I gotta dye my hair. It's gray. I'm not that. I love it. I love when a man has salt and pepper in his beard. That shit is sexy as fuck. I love it. Um. So yeah, and it's like it makes you. And so again, my prayer was in the beginning, before I got this bad off with my health, but I had already been diagnosed with the stomach shit, like early on, like, oh, you could have an ulcer, just speculation. You could have this, could have that. And I was like, yeah, my mother had this. Because anytime you put something on your report when you're going to see the doctor, and then you start having these problems, when they're trying to associate like what's your specific issue, it's good to know family history. So but nothing was definitive until 2014. And if I had separated from my husband in 2018, the first go round, right? First go round. So that's, 4 years after being diagnosed with the stomach stuff. I mean, she gave me like 6 or 7 diagnoses just coming from my colonoscopy. So I've been living with whatever it was since 2014. So it had much time to fester. So I was dealing with my anger about that. Like, why the fuck what's going on with this doctor shit? I had the insurance, so then I thought about what my mother said. When my mom said it has nothing to do with what kind of money you got, what kind of insurance plan you got. And it was like, whoa, it dawned on me right then when she said that. And I was like mad about like how I'm being treated. And so then I really started trying to like find other people. That's when I went to like the Facebook forums of people that have IBS, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's type shit, and just started reading other people's stories. And I always interact with other people and stuff and share whatever things that I was doing to help myself. This is when I was introduced to, Mary Jane, marijuana, cannabis to help with the stomach cramps and all of that. But I never associated that was going to be an onset to further issues. And when I started doing a lot of research, it actually was an onset. So you never know how some kind of foreign thing can come into your body, because I had food poisoning. Food poisoning that led to whatever was going on in my stomach, that she did, the gastro doctor at that time did a colonoscopy and also put it down my throat. I think they call it the EDG, and saw all the things that was going on and just wrote it all down and then just left me hanging. That's what happened. So I was very angry about that. So I was talking to God about it, like, what's going on? So this is not fair. Like, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? And think about it. If I'm leaving out of a marriage where it's like I was his body trying to take care of the body. That's how my ex-husband acted. He acted like I am the one carrying his body. So I'm supposed to be concerned about making sure everything is right. And he could care less. It blew my mind. Like, dude, do you not see that these diagnoses, this doctor gave me all these fucking diagnoses, threw me a triple antibiotic to cure the H. pylori in my stomach from the food poisoning from fish that I ate. Some bad fish, something. I don't know, but I can't actually say, but it was fish I ate. So I was like, how could it be from the potato? I had a baked potato with fish. So no, it had to be the fish. But I found that out years later after doing a lot of research. What gave me the stomach virus? What gave me the food poisoning? So that's where she found it in my stomach, and then just left me hanging with the diagnosis. Then I went through supplements, and that's how I feel like I cured that by on record of doing a stool test and saying it's gone. Okay? But the gallbladder issue and then the intestinal thing. So she lied and said it's just IBS. It's strictly just IBS. No, it's ulcerative colitis. You wrote it right here, which is Crohn's. The fuck? So this whole time I've been living with the shit, getting no goddamn treatment for it, and excruciating pain. So of course I'm angry, and I'm talking to God about it. Like, it doesn't make sense. What is going on? I don't understand. Isn't the spiritual, the unseen, supposed to be helping me here in the physical? I always knew this. So I didn't get no answers from God. So now I'm feeling like I'm in a marriage where I'm not being heard. I'm not being, only my daughter was like so under, my baby was under so much pressure of trying to be a high school student, worried about her mom at home, throwing up sick. I had started going to college because I couldn't seem to find a job doing what I love to do, which is patient care. So I went on ahead and started going to college to get my nursing degree. From there, the illness got worse. So I cannot sit in class. When I have to keep going to the bathroom. And then when I'm sitting on the toilet, I can't do nothing. I'm just hurting. Like, oh God, help me. So boom, I stopped going to campus because I don't like how that felt. Like, I can't just go sit on the toilet and be trying to use it and I can't, and then go back to class and my stomach's still cramping and hurting. So I went to online classes, and that was cool because I'm in my own house. I didn't have to worry about rent because I'm living here. So the rent was really cheap. Think about it. So, but the purpose of getting my degree is to get a better living so I can move and have options and move where the fuck I want to stay at. Okay? So, the husband situation fucked all that up of focusing on self. Okay? But that was also a necessary roughness in the spiritual awakening. You see what I'm saying? So I was just constantly praying to God that I could be healed in my physical body, number one. And number two, therefore I can get back to my work and earning my money and doing what I want to do and live my life and be, and I don't want this man in my life no more. But I do want love. So that's what it was about. And I was scared because as I started to approach my 50s, I was like, oh my gosh. Look at me. Who's going to want to love me? Look at me. I never said I'm an old lady. I said I'm sick. And it's very difficult for me to say that shit to myself. Because in my brain, I knew that if I had the proper education and tools, I could get healed. But it was medical. Like, I need medical attention. Not just, okay, stop eating like this. I did all those things, and it never stopped my stomach from hurting. And I went on like a water diet. Like I was fat. I was always intermittently fasting all the time. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not properly treated for a medical diagnosis, then you're going to continue to deteriorate. So that was very difficult for me, and it had nothing to do with me wanting to get out there and date. No, I wanted to work. That's what was like causing me my massive depression, because I wanted to work. So I sought out therapy. And that's when I tell you who I met, the little Asian guy who was gay. Imagine that guy off a Hangover. I don't know if he's gay in real life, but his character in Hangover? Like, he didn't seem, he wasn't gay in the movie, but he the way he'd be like, you tried to fucking me, you know what I'm saying? That's how this Asian guy was. That was his demeanor, because he's gay, right? So that was his demeanor. And then he was like, and yeah, the problem is, and talking to me all sassy and shit. So I had to remember that I'm a lady, and I had to remember that I am royalty. I am not going to stoop to this motherfucker's level, but I left the session and never motherfucking returned, because I was like, you going to get a tongue lashing, overstepping your boundaries. And so my point is, that was like a little prelude to what I do now, and how I'm very candid, because it's people you can get in front of, and you think because they got a degree on the wall that they're going to handle you with care, and they will not. They will use that as an opportunity to motherfucking project upon you. How the fuck do you like to suck penis, and you're going to tell, I don't know, all kind of variations. I don't know what flavor you like, but you trying to tell me a black woman how to love a black man like the one I got? Like, I was offended like a motherfucker by that shit. I was disrespected. It's a difference for me being offended because I can, like, okay, I know how to handle myself, you know. I'm chopping your ass up in my head. I'm going to get in my car. I'm an Uber here. And me and my daughter are going to talk succinctly how we do in Uber rides. Right? But if I'm on my own shit, I'm like, and I know that bitch didn't. I'm expressive. I'm gonna still get my therapy. I'm gonna get my communication on. But while I was in the midst of the moment, you know, I'm gonna excuse myself, boo boo bop. But yeah. And the dude had the audacity to call me again and said, okay, you missed your appointment. You need to call in. Remember, I said that you need to like let it be known that you're not gonna be able to make your appointment because I could be seeing someone else. Child, when I heard that message on my phone, telling you, telling you, like he literally was like, yeah, you know, the problem is the husband. I mean, he's not somebody you should be wasting your time on. See how that ties in when I say telling the truth without self-reflection is just running your fucking mouth and trying to offend people. I just said that, right? That's why I said you're gay, dude. Like you're gay. Like, do you know what it's like to have a vagina? Like, I would have bust his ass down real quick. Do you know what it's like to have a vagina? You don't. You have a penis. Okay. Well, so you don't even have no rights to be saying nothing to no woman. You need to do gay counseling. Okay, gay counseling. You might can handle speaking to a female that loves other females. You could, you know, depending on your level of how you have operated in a balanced femininity as a man. But you don't need to be talking to no women having sex with men, and it's just disrespectful. You don't have a vagina. What are you saying? You disrespecting my vagina, man. Straight up. Straight up. Okay, if we can't go to the doctor, you put your legs in a stirrup, I put my legs in a stirrup, and we gonna be treated the same way, then motherfucker respect my vagina. Respect my vagina. And this vagina dealing with a black man, you out of line. You totally out of line. You out of line. Cause then we gotta talk about history. We gotta talk about where you from, how was you raised, where you okay, you from where? Your parents live where? You came to the States when? Oh, what happened? Your grandfather's who? So we got to go and talk about that. So you see how it's a totally different dynamic. Like what? And I was completely offended. So this is when I just started reading more again, getting back into reading and journaling my feelings. So self-care is very, 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 very at the number one priority over your children, over your husband, over your mama them, self-care. Because when you, and I had to learn that the hard way with all that I went through. And I remember I was talking on when I was did the blood work, the auto panel blood work, and the nurse, I called the nurse's line and I was asking questions about something on the result. And then I was saying the other result says it's still pending, it hasn't come in yet. So she's like, oh yes, yes, that one is still pending. Usually that's, you know, she was explaining to me too, even how they run that particular test and then they want to make sure and this, that, and the other. And so I was like, oh my God, like I was really scared. So she was like, well, the thing about it is that, you know, what had happened is that you neglected yourself. You was too busy taking care of everybody else and not taking care of self. And I just started crying. I just busted out, you know, like, see, that is a person that can give you the truth because they self-reflect. It hit different. It has your heart vibrating and somebody gives a fuck about me. Somebody cares. This person is talking to me with empathy. You see what I'm saying? So, wow, that blew me away. And it is like I was self-reflecting on how much I had known I was sick, but I wasn't really focused on stressing and going to this doctor, that doctor, this doctor, that doctor, this doctor. But yet with my husband, I was taking him everywhere. Like I get up early in the morning and you know, he all like lethargic and sick and swollen and everything. And I'm like, come on, you're gonna be okay. You know, I only had a little Neil and he's 6'3". So I was like, we had to do what we got to work with. And I'm driving him to different hospitals. I'm being his spokesperson. He was that sick. He couldn't really articulate, let's know, you know, try to sit upright and, you know, keep his composure because he's that fucking sick. He was literally walking dead. So even when I talk about him like that today, that's literally what he was. Walking Dead I speak of now is that he's spiritually dead. He had no heart. He was not anywhere close to being somebody that I should have stayed in a long-term relationship with. But it was all by design, okay? By the Most High God's design, that I found him to be the saving grace. I found him to be the best friend. I found him to be the protector. But he can be a great provider if he has the means to be put in a position that he can feel dignified to earn money. This is what I was speaking over this man. So I know how God was watching me in regards to how I'm behaving towards other people, but I was not ever paying attention to how I was behaving to myself. So that's why I get in and I get in, I get in, I get in, I keep going. I keep going, I keep going, I keep going. Because it's very, 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 very pertinent that I put myself first. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I don't feel like I ever neglected myself when I was taking care of my daughter as she was being raised up. I don't feel like I neglected myself as I took care of my mother, but I definitely fucking did that shit when Terrence Martindale got out of prison October 2012, and I just went into overdrive taking care of him. Because again, if he got out in 2012 and I actually found out my diagnosis in 2014, that do mean that within them 2 years, I had started experiencing things sporadically, but not to the point where I can't get up, can't cook, can't clean, can't do my self-care and groom and all of that. So we go through stuff. We getting older, right? So, I'm just, okay, right? And then it just soon is this is the crazy shit, and this is really, really, really powerful in how the mind works, because it's the same thing when I found out I was pregnant. Before I actually knew for a fact I'm pregnant, I was good. I was like, I feel a little something strange, but I'm okay. I'm good. And then as soon as the doctor said, "Congratulations," and my eyes are bugged like, what's she talking about? Congratulations? Like, I'm waiting in the clinic with her dad, and he already told me you're pregnant. And I was so furious, but I was like, keep your composure, girl. Like, I don't know why this dude is acting like, I mean, and just thinking about those times when I knew what words I wanted to say, and I told myself, hold your mule, girl. And then soon as the doctor called me in the back and says, congratulations, he all skinning and grinning, looking at me like, I told you. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I did a blood test. That's how I know for a fact that, it was definitive. So she calls me in the back. She's like, oh my gosh, okay, so congratulations, you're pregnant. And I was devastated. I was like, do you not know that I just started kicking it with him? Like, what is you saying? Like, in my mind, I was doing all that. But I'm listening to what she's saying. Okay, so your due date should be November 17th, and whoop the whoop. And right now, you're this many weeks. And, ooh, wow, I almost fucking fainted. But I'm grateful that I had my mother, who was always cooing about one of her grandchildren. When am I going to have some damn grandchildren? Because my brother was like a little boy, so he ain't finna give her no grandchildren. So I was like, okay, my mama gonna be so ecstatic, but then I'm still worried because I know me and my mama ain't all the best. We've had a lot of problems, so I gotta be. I'm finna be a mama. So oh my god, like I'm having all kind of stuff coming in, and so I'm going out to the car, and I'm aggravated because he is all, man, shit, I'm gonna have me a son, and I'm like, I couldn't take it no more. I say, what is your fucking problem? He was like, what? Why are you cursing me out? I say, I didn't. I mean, you know what? I shouldn't have came with you. What you mean? That's my child. You can't. What you mean? You shouldn't have came to the clinic with me? I said, I'm just saying, like, I needed to process this for myself. You see what I'm saying? I should have went by myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how you up here celebrating and acting like you finna go pick out colors for the nursery and shit. I'm the one pregnant. And he was like, I know, but you're saying I'm here with you. We're going to get married. I'm like, married? Married? No. I am not marrying you just because I'm pregnant. What are you, woman, what are you talking about, man? Get in the car. Let's go. I mean, I am shaking I'm just like, because I'm terrified of being somebody that I knew I had problems. I knew I had issues. I need healing. I knew this shit about myself. I don't want to mess up my child. I don't want that. I don't want that. No, and I was scared as fuck for that reason. And secondly, he's a hoe. I knew he wasn't gonna stand by my side. I mean, come on now. I read a man's energy. I don't know why men. I just don't be talking. I just don't be saying that. But I read the energy like this is not going to be. Especially when he kept talking about we gonna get married. He kept saying that shit. He kept saying it. Like marriage is something you play around with, dude. Like I'm not marrying you. It made me even more resentful that I felt like he targeted me. Now I'm starting to feel like you was trying to get me pregnant. I ain't never met a man that's gonna tell you if y'all ain't in a relationship, right, and was trying to get pregnant, all that. But in him knowing your cycle and all that, I ain't saying men don't have the intuitive powers to know that. I'm saying I ain't never met a man that's so gung ho of telling you are pregnant before you found out that you were pregnant. When I say that this man literally told me this the next day after the sexual encounter without a condom, you're pregnant. He told me that. I'll never forget that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was terrified of having any other sex with him, and I wouldn't. So he was like, man, so now we can just get back to no, 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 no. Because I felt set up. I literally felt set up. I'm telling you, I remember every detail about that sexual moment, time. I remember every detail. And it felt like to me I was being set up without my ass even realizing that, girl, you about to be, yeah. Because what, the next day, the shit was so weird because I literally felt like I wanted to start having morning sickness. Like I felt nauseous. I woke up the next day and I was like, oh, I don't feel good. Ooh, what is wrong with me? And he just kind of walking around and stuff. You probably need to eat something. I say, yeah, you know what, you're right. I probably do need because I ain't eat. What did I drink yesterday? Oh, you ain't had nothing. You ain't really had nothing to drink, but you ain't really just eat either. And I was like, oh shit, I have a habit of doing that and shit. I don't know why. See, I always had these things that I did that I didn't pay attention to that I would not eat. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't eat. I had these issues that I wasn't aware of, and I wouldn't eat. And then if I drink a little something, I might feel nauseous. Like, damn, did I eat? And I'm like, okay, I need to eat something. I need to eat something. So I would eat, and I'll try to remind myself, okay, eat a certain type meal. Then you can have your little drink when you go out and socialize and everything like that there. But then as time went on, I realized I'm not a drinker. I'm not a drinker. You just need to leave that shit all the way alone just because, you know what? It ain't for your blood system. It ain't for your system. Okay? But I still did it, sporadically in my socializing and shit like that. But nothing hardcore. Lady drinks, like I love me some Hypnotic, by the way. Like that type shit. If we went out to a Mexican restaurant, I could have a strawberry margarita. I never like the regular tasting ones. But if they be putting all that shit up in there, my head gonna be swooning. So I stopped drinking stuff like that because I don't know what kind of alcohol you putting in there. So I felt like I might have been nauseous because I did not really eat. Probably had just a little bit of some Hypnotic. You can go to the liquor store and they have the little individuals. I probably did something like that. So I was like, I need to eat. And so we got Wendy's, child. We had got Wendy's. I couldn't eat it. I wanted to throw up. And I normally would like me a little single burger with a little fry. And I wanted to throw up. And I was like, oh, I cannot eat this. And he was like, you know what? You pregnant. Imagine me sitting there with the burger, unwrapping and smelled the meat and just like, ugh, I want to throw up. And he say that shit. Just imagine that. That's what I had to settle with in that very moment. And I was like, why would you say that? Now, obviously, I felt something in the sexual moment that would have sensed that was weird. Like, we together, we know, we, you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, this is why I teach my daughter the way that I teach my daughter. So now I see all those experiences. I needed to feel them, go through them, process them, so that I could be a better parent for my daughter. Because I didn't know I was having a girl, and I wanted a boy so bad. I knew I had a boy in my future. I knew it. Even before I met Ashley's dad, when I was with my first love, Christopher Williams, I felt he was the one. I was gonna marry him. We're gonna have kids. He the one. And I knew I was having sons. I knew I was going to at least, I wanted 4 kids, at least 2 boys, 2 girls, make it even so they can have their little playmates or whatever. But I know my first child was going to be a son. I knew it. I just knew it in my consciousness. I'm going to have a boy. So I was settling with that I'm going to have a boy. And then boom. No, it's a girl. And my mother told me that. She said, nope, you're having a girl. I said, Mama, how you know? I know you having a girl. And she picked out Ashley's name. So I was like, okay, so I'm settling, you know what I'm saying? I'm settling. And next thing you know, he leaves. It ain't next thing you know, I cut through all of that shit. But the nigga left, just like I knew he would. Because I'm worried about the pregnancy. I'm worried about being healthy. I'm worried about, my consciousness. Like, how I'm going to help this little baby girl grow up and everything like that. Because I don't want my mama too much, trying to like bully me and how to raise my child. So I'm processing this as I'm getting bigger and going through the trimesters and shit. And this dude has left. Just like the fuck I said he would. And he was going to. And he's a hoe. Yeah. So in saying that, let's bring that on in, because this is part of the counseling session. Let's bring that on in and say how I was not going to be okay with practicing unsafe sex and knowing I could get pregnancy. You don't know it because if you were with your first love, y'all were together, not really having a great sex life with this man. It's like, how are we going to be married? The sex ain't right. Like, the sex ain't, this is with the first love, Christopher Williams. So I was like, oh God, I can't. And then I meet Ashley's dad a year later. Yeah, I met Chris Williams, 94. I met Ashley's dad, 95. Year later. See? Fate. Next thing you know, and actually I went and looked into this chart. There's a chart you can go to and put in your date of birth and all that stuff, and it'll tell you when you were going to conceive. And I literally conceived when it said I was going to conceive. So I was like, okay, so that's how I also knew that was fated. And after that, I meet Michael. So just imagine, I'm like terrified of getting pregnant again. And a dude talking some bullshit. That was not going to happen. So if he said that he didn't like how I was in control, then I don't know what you're not liking about me being in control of my own life and destiny, in the sense of like not becoming somebody's baby mama or side piece or whatever. Then that's on you. That's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's some type of shit you need to work out with your thought processes about women and relationships and rearing children. Cause that sounds quite fucking ludicrous. So now that I've said this many times in other therapy sessions. I said this, that's why he got mad at me. Like, what the fuck is these men trying to trap me with children? What the fuck? That's why he got mad. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. When I said no to unprotected sex. No, I don't want to just have your baby and you just telling me some bullshit where you have to understand I have other kids and whoop de whoop. Because guess who had already been saying that? Guess who had been saying that? Ashley's dad. And can you just imagine when you're starting to date somebody and they don't tell the truth about who they are and their background and whatever, and literally you find it out through your kinfolk? Yo, kinfolk talking about, I think he got about like 3 or 4 kids. I'm like, what? Well, your cousin not lying. I do have a son. I told you I have a son. I was like, yeah. But what I didn't tell you is that I'm about to have another baby girl. See what I'm saying? Now you understand why I said it was a setup? Thank you. And yes, I had to take responsibility and accountability for how I played a part in this that felt like a demise. But then in retrospect, as I kept living life, kept spiritually maturing, loving my baby, grateful that the Most High God gave me my baby girl, and I now look at her biological dad as he was sent by God. It was fated. So that's why he gets this kind of like, not a halo over his fucking head, but he gets a position. You see what I'm saying? He has a position. He chose to work it out. He chose to play his cards the way he did for not being in my daughter's life. But that's the reason why when Michael Wayne was like doing that shit he was doing, I was like, nigga, never. Nope. So you can be mad all you want to. If that's what you really got mad about, someone I was in control and I like to be in control too. I don't know what you're talking about, because obviously I had to learn a lesson because I wasn't in control of that night and I got pregnant. So you think I was supposed to not have learned anything from that? Nah, I'm not about to slide up on that and to get pregnant, and then you telling me some shit like he over here then told me now about these kids that I ain't know nothing about, and you've been, hell no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So that's honestly what put the rift between me and Michael Wayne. That's what put the rift. Because I said no. I stood up for myself and said no. I'm not finna slide up on that and be unprotected and just, you know. And, you know, I feel like he's angry about the fact that, but you fucked the other nigga with no protection. You know, I feel like this shit he ain't say with words, but this is what he was thinking. So I had to clear all that shit up. That's what all that 4 years of all that shit up back and forth talking to him was. Clearing it up. You are misconstruing, or you have a misconception of who I am, and that's what the fuck we're not going to end things with. We can end things. You're an adult, I'm an adult. Well, I'm a spiritually mature adult. You're an adult. Okay? And I tell you what, I get it. But at the same time, you're not going to create this illusion or lies in your head about me to make you feel good. This is what my life was like. Okay? And I accomplished that. I let him know all of that. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and it's stupid to be like, what do you mean? Okay, I had unprotected sex. Okay. Well, you did too. Obviously, you have kids with those women and you married them. That meant that you had to spend time and, you know, show up and to have sex again and have another one. And, you know, what are you saying? Well, why wasn't I somebody you would want to? You think I'm finna talk like that and act like that? No, it wasn't meant. It wasn't meant. That's what I was thinking the whole time that I went on with my life. It wasn't meant. It hurt my feelings. Because I ain't never been treated like that before. Like, that's some new shit. Like, what's that right there? Ever been treated like that before? Literally at a motel room, getting ready to get it in. Baby gone, you know, hook him up and let me do, you know. And he was like, hold up. Let's take this off. And now you sit on and like, no, I am not. Hell no. What are you doing? What you talking about, baby? Oh, hell no. Hell no. And you know what? And the truth be told, if you really think about it, at least the baby dad, Roderick, Ashley's dad, it was dark in the room. Okay? I remember it. It was dark in the room. He had the stereo on, so the stereo had a light, right? So that was the illumination. And the stereo had a light. It was playing Isley Brothers, too. I don't remember which song. I think it was a Come Back to Me Always. Whatever that song is. Come back to me. You're my lady. Now and never. Anyway, that was me and Roger shit. Isley Brothers. So he said, let me go to the bathroom and, you know, I'll be right back. I said, okay. And that's how I got pregnant. The room was already dark. So did I say, hold up? No, because I felt like he's being responsible because we'd always used a condom. And he did it on his own, like, you know, responsibly. Thank you. It's dark. Yeah, it's dark. So, you know, yeah, you know, get in the bed, come under the covers and everything, kissing the toes, kissing the legs coming up. And I'm like, oh, what the hell was finna happen? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how it happened. So at least he did do some little sneakeroo ass shit, you know, come on in. But he was like, hold up, no, let me unwrap this, put that over there, then okay, you get back right, like, oh, no, 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 no. I ain't gonna be able to do that. He's like, what do you mean? Come on. I'm like, no. So we are arguing over a condom. And then he just said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. This is what he did. He did. Don't even worry about it. I'm about to take you home. That's exactly what the fuck happened. So imagine me having to go on with my life thinking like, damn, these niggas really out here trying to get me pregnant. You don't think I'm gonna be even much more hyper vigilant? You don't think I'm gonna be that much more like, I ain't having no sex? Like, hell yeah! The hell y'all talking about? So that's the truth of why the twin flame Michael Wayne was mad at me and said I was trying to be all in control. This is the truth. The truth. The truth. That's the truth. That's what I actually have to like have on my mind when it comes to like, so how did the breakdown start? It started right there. It wasn't no other way around that. Oh, you went back to your baby daddy, or your baby daddy kept on intruding, or my baby mama, or whatever I got going on, kept on interfering with us, and life is, we went our separate ways. That was something I can really be like, okay, yeah, I can spiritually maturely process that. But to be, hell no, hell no, we not, So I guess that issue was something that he continued to feel like he can't get over that. But if I get another chance, so in life we kept dealing with each other. That was our second time. First time was with a condom. I kept asking him to answer me that. Did we have sex the first time without a condom? Because you keep acting like we had sex the first time with a condom, and we did not. We had it with a condom. So please stop acting like, what are you talking about? And so the second time he wanted without, and I'm like, no. And then the third time we did it with, he was cool. The fourth we did it without. Yep. Uh-huh. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Yeah. See? Uh-huh. So after that, he says, I thought you would have been, that's 2009. I thought you would have been told me, called me and said you was pregnant with my son. See my point? See? Motherfuckers around here trying to play Russian roulette with my womb. You see my point? That's my point. That's my point. So, but no, I did not get pregnant. Had my menstruation like normal. And yeah, so that's what really happened. That's the truth. Can't have men going around lying and making up shit in their own head. And I don't know anybody he would spit that to unless they got like a little men club that they hang out and click up in and shit like that, I guess. But I don't know nobody he would, be. But who knows? Who knows what these men do? So, with their other men friends and groups and whatever the fuck they be involved in with themselves. So, I don't know. But, yeah, we did have sex without a condom, 2009. And if I was making it up that he was trying to get me pregnant, and I already experienced that with my daughter's father, I'm not about to be, I'm very, 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 wise in knowing what's going on. So what that did was, I feel like, made me be more hyper vigilant about my sexual energy and how I'm, yeah. So, but no, I did not get pregnant, and we've been beefing ever since then. Straight up. We've been beefing. Every motherfucker since then. Why? Why are we beefing? Ooh, I'm hot. Why are we beefing? Oh, I like them. So here's the cards that came out. Why are we beefing? I like them. And what's so crazy that you were telepathically connecting to me? Because I have been watching those on Amazon.
For real?
Yep. I've been watching them on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And I think it was a full day. So I'm going to have to... I like when you do shit like that because it be connecting.
Right?
They were. I mean, they actually led to my beginning of my picks today.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So why? Okay, so as I move forward in my life and I shut this chapter down, I've read this book many a times and I'm going to go ahead and put it on the shelf. It's a good book. So, it's part of my life story. So, but why would there be a blockage on me moving forward with my life in a new loving energy? That's what I want to know now. Okay. So let's get into it. Let me go ahead and do my other prayer that I'm going to write it up. I think I'm going to say it out to my daughter and have her type it up because, child, my thumb is hurting. My sovereign's prayer. I officially declare my soul contract of struggle. Why do I always say struggle? I officially declare my soul contract of struggle is now complete. I renounce the identity of the victim and the survivor. I am stepping into my true name as a sovereign architect in this year 2026. I'm releasing these hired actors of my past life with forgiveness. I'm accepting my graduation from the hard knock life of pain. I activate my 3 doors of wealth, of tribe, and health. I am commanding that my prosperous moment come in right now, manifesting this month. And I'm protected. I am authorized. I have risen. The old world is gone. The new world is mine. It is signed. It is sealed. It is divine. Okay? So, what could it be? What could it be? Who could it be now? Do, 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 do. Who could it be now? Thank you. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Mama needs hot flashes. I'm just hot and not ready. I'm hot and sweaty. I am not hot and ready. I am hot and sweaty. What's up, baby? What you need? What you want to do? What can we do that we won't get our food stolen? Tamper with or stolen because...
You know what I keep thinking about? But it's like we are hating before. So it's like when it's
Wow. Exhaustion, defeat, giving up. Give it up, turn it loose. What's up, baby? All right. So, it's looking like the 7 of Wands in reverse. So the question is there going to be any more blockages as I move into this new beginning? What else needs to be seen to? What else needs to be completed? Let's see. Because one thing about it is that, I still have feelings for Michael Wayne. I do. I can't act like I don't. Because that's stupid. I've done that and it doesn't work. I do. So What is going on here? Why is this, is this time for it to be complete, finish, and let it go? Or is there some more stuff I need to look into healing within myself that is connected to him? Okay? So it says the Seven of Wands reversed. It represents feelings of being overwhelmed, exhausted, or unable to hold your ground against mounting pressures. So is this what Michael Wayne is going through? I know I'm going through that. Health stuff, I just talked about it. It often indicates giving up, losing your confidence, or being overly defensive. Okay, so when it comes to myself, I don't look at myself as being overly defensive. I'm going to be very proactive in my conscious awareness of how I'm playing a part in repeated cycles, karmic cycles. You know what I'm saying? This card also advises letting go of the you versus the world mentality, seeking support, and picking battles wisely. I just said that earlier. Okay? You may be struggling to maintain your position, leading to burnout and a desire to give up. Okay? Okay? Lack of confidence. Self doubt sets in, making you feel insecure in your decisions and your abilities. Being very defensive when you should be showing more receptiveness and being more vulnerable. Okay, it says you may be taking unnecessary precautions, feeling paranoid, or acting overly aggressive due to insecurity. I think this is what he's going through. Honestly speaking. Honestly speaking. Okay. And thank you, Spirit, for showing that up because I was listening to another one of Jess's videos, and I do believe I posted it in my community post over here. So let me go to it here and see what it's saying. Okay. Yes. Her she just posted this. Well, it was a month ago, but it was fresh. So that's how I love it when I don't really call women that deal with tarot and do like public speaking, on social media, to be a healer, a guide, a motivational speaker, a life coach. Like I feel like women that can carry a lot of those umbrellas or points of reference in what they do and how effective they do what they do is not to be called a tarot reader. So I wouldn't say that Jess Puckett, the Chaos Witch here, is a tarot reader, but I would say she's a healer. I would definitely say that. So what her if you click on my community post, it says this person is determined to solve things with you. They left because they needed a minute. They know you're mad and they think that that you think that they ghosted you. They're bad with emotions and words, but they're determined to show you and put the work in. So of course, a title like that, and I'm thinking about Michael Wayne, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna see, what's going on. And then what she does, I love how she does put a lot of the meaning that she's gonna get into, and then here she puts like a focal point. You do mean a lot to them. And that made me think about that time I asked him, is it just sex? Was it just sex? And he was like, no, it's not just lust. It's not just lust and sex. And that was it. Like he didn't expound upon. So I don't like to be played with. You know what I'm saying? Don't you can't finesse me and do all that. Um and anyway, she pointed out something that this masculine could be experiencing when she talked about the word dismissive avoidance. And she's really good at the way she puts in uh bullet points of certain words. Y'all know I do that over here. So let's go into it. I already pulled it up, class. Let's get into it. All right. So I've already pulled it up through this article here. And I like it that it's called the couples center. And it's talking, and it says here, love that lasts. And so it says connect with the therapist. And in here, she says here, what is dismissive avoidant attachment? So this is great to see that he's showing up again. He's a Seven of Pentacles, right? In his birth card and the cards of destiny. but he keeps showing up as a seven of spades or seven of wands over and over again. Anytime I'm studying my cards of destiny and it keeps telling me about you're going to have anger with a man, like recently it says you're going to have anger with the man, it was Quasi. It never skips a beat. Every time I consult my cards of destiny, and I do it in all kinds of different ways, it always talk whenever it tells me about I'm about to have some anger with the man, it always says this anger is with the man that you were in a relationship with, a sexual intimate relationship with. And it was Quasi just recently ago. But when I was not focused on healing nothing with that dude, I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to deal with him, and I be adamant. And he knows for a fact I be adamant. Like I don't fuck with you alone. I done told you. But I was focused very strongly on my twin flame Michael Wayne, and I was looking and seeing that every time his cards showed up in mine, he showed up as a seven of wands in the upright, or seven of spades in the upright. Okay. So this is in the reverse. So somebody is literally exhausted with trying to be defensive, with trying to play these mind games. Okay. So to me in the upright, it would show mind games. Okay. And what you do is you attach a meaning to a tarot, of course, based on you understanding a deeper depth of the symbology, okay, the colorism, all of that. Okay, the chakra it's in. When you understand that, even if you just wrote it down, the more the cards come out, you're gonna start doing a recall. Seven of Wands, okay, but you always pull in what you're currently going through to see if what the Seven of Wands is like the blinking clock. How my clock was blinking. If whatever the sun the Seven of Wands, upright or reverse, is blinking at you, that's what it is. Okay, so when you listen to a lot of these tarot readers, and I'm just doing that because it's what YouTube tell them to call themselves. Um, they will say take what resonates and leave the rest, and that's because in their comments, so many people like that's not my story. But I don't even know why they address that type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get past people coming, can you do a reading for me? Is Johnny gonna come back to me? When you get past that, and you really sitting in your on your platform, and you're doing your big one, and you're getting all the accolades, and you're getting the people that is resonating, and you're getting all that, and you're getting a check, baby, don't be addressing nobody coming up in there trying to tell you that what you talking about ain't got nothing to do with them. And so, anywho, that's how you do it. That's what y'all see me do over here. Okay, this like I tell y'all, this is a personal channel. Okay, this is me being guided by the Most High God that I was going to be doing something way bigger than what I saw it would be, textbook wise. I got my degree. I'm a nurse. Da da da. No, you said you always wanted to be a teacher, right? Yeah, I've always wanted to be a teacher. Well, here's your opportunity. So that's how I had to start viewing it. But it was a progress. It was a learning. It's a learning progression. Okay, progress. So I don't call shit processes because we deal with enough government entities, all these systems and stuff, processes, and no progress. Okay, work in progress. Okay. So when Jess was bringing it up the way she was, I was like, wow. Thank you, Jess. You the shit. Like, girl, I like how you be throwing them key words out there. Thank you. Because that's how I know somebody's worth their weight in salt. If me listening to you gives me homework to go do, yeah, you the shit. You the shit. Or if what you did in that particular, video, reading, whatever you call your stuff, whatever you did really gave me resolve, you did that. So those are the ones that I seek out. I don't want to do all that, that regular shit. That's regular. We gotta level up, baby. This world is really getting darker and darker and darker with all kind of shit that a lot of folks don't see going on, and we gotta really level up with just getting out of the energy of what gets the clicks, what gets the views, what gets the likes, and therefore, hey, my check went up. It's real people that you're talking to, right? When you really get your momentum going, so you got to act like it's real people. And it's just like Bishop T.D. Jakes said that when he first started his church, it would be one or two people in there, but he gave them the sermon like it was a full house. Yeah, I pay attention. You got to pay attention, and you should want to follow in the footsteps that God has left behind a person. Ooh, that's powerful. You should want to follow. Ooh, let me write that down. Mm-mm-mm. I've been lit, right? With this arthritis not letting me write right. You should want to follow. Ooh, come on, thumb. No, the footsteps that God left behind somebody. Ooh, that's powerful. Excuse me. That is powerful. Woo-wee. I'm gonna need to generate this one around. This here is powerful. Matter of fact, I need to get this rolled up, laminated, put it right there. This is frameable. This is frameable. You should want to follow the footsteps that God left behind somebody. You know, I would be like, follow me, follow me, follow me. Okay, who are you? I tell people all the time, though, I say true supporters. That's why I don't say follow. My true followers, my true subscribers. What is that? Subscribers? That's nothing because I subscribe to people and I unsubscribe to people. Let me tell you why. When that person's on an energy, is a particular lady that I follow right now. Her channel is called Crossroad or the Ocean Rose, something like that. Anyway, and she's always in a very loving, light energy. Like everything she does on her channel that I've come to see is all love, light, and abundant healing. But there's times when I need to get to the gritty shit. So I need to like not listen because I want to hear what she has to say in the light energy, right? And it's always very abundant and healing. But then when I need to deal with the gritty shit, I gotta turn it off and go within. So I'll unsubscribe. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm back. I'm back. Okay, I'm back. I need to balance it. It's too much dark shit, too much anger, too much stuff coming up. I need to balance it. And then guess what? I'll resubscribe, but I won't go look at anything she's posted on the notifications unless I'm guided to. So if I'm guided to, okay, go over here and listen to this. Guess what her channel makes you do? Calm down. It makes her channel is very calm, very serene, very serene. Okay, so when I said that I don't feel it's fair for them just to be called tarot readers. No, it's not. That's why I let it be known. Do not call me a tarot reader. If you want to call me anything, you can call me an oracle. You can call me that. If you just want to call me one single word or two words, oracle reader, which you don't really need to add the reader part, just say the oracle. Don't call me a tarot reader because you see me looking stuff up. Because that's how I was shown how to do it. And then use that as a jump off to expound. Okay? So don't call me a tarot reader. But that's how you use it. That's how you use it. It's for you to self-reflect. And we talked about that earlier when I said you listen to somebody telling you all the gory details, right? And it sounds so salaciously alluring and like, yeah, that's him. He did that shit. And then his baby mama, because I read the comments. So that's how, whenever I'm listening to a certain type of person that's doing a tarot reading, I be reading their comments. They're talking and I'm reading their comments. And that's how I can say what I'm saying about how effective it is to stay with a certain template of doing things or perform in a certain way. And what's sad is that it really doesn't push you to grow. It keeps you in a box. You see what I'm saying? It's like, whoa, like damn, like I do that over here and then I scratch it. Like, okay, what was that? I don't even like that. What was that going on? We're not doing that. We already did that. You see what I'm saying? And so that's exactly how I know that I couldn't be. The reason Karmic Justice Tarot 369 had to hit a pause because the Most High God said it's time to come back to your personal channel. And this is personal. Come on back over here. Come on back over here. And you'll know because you'll start getting air beneath your wings. The Most High God spiritually is giving you the momentum. It's not YouTube people behind the scenes. You are doing it. But you had to keep at it though. So the fact that you showed us that you want to give back by going to start a channel where you try your best to generalize your messages and not make it too personal. Okay. Okay. You know you can do that. But it was always supposed to be personal. Because you truly care. You truly have empathy for other people. You truly put yourself in other people's shoes. You truly do know that women are definitely suffering at an astronomical rate because of love and brokenheartedness. Like when I was going through that ending part with Michael Wayne, I kept on watching the Amy Winehouse documentary, her biop. I watched it so many times. And no matter how many times I watched it, tears. I just still felt the overwhelming energy of like loving a man who just was using you and and just helped you get on stronger drugs and like whoa, like if you look at her biop and you just judge, that's what I'm talking about. And talk shit, you're not self-reflecting. Because have you ever loved a man that strong like that? And I'm talking about that strong where you could have been derailed and went. Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact, my daughter and I was watching a video of Peach McIntyre. And it was a video of her in the store, like the baby store. I don't think she had the babies yet. And she was like going to get a stroller and whatever. And then people, I told y'all I'd be reading people comments. So I'm looking in and I keep reading the comments. I'm looking and I'm reading the comments. And I'm seeing how people are literally saying a lot of shit about the baby daddy. Well, he ain't just baby daddy, he husband. And they be talking shit about him. And I be like, and it be female, it be acting like it's a female account, right? And so I was like, this is shit I be talking about. Cause that could be me and Michael Wayne. And me and my daughter wasn't here. I said that could have been me and Michael Wayne shit. Because you hear how preachers be like, oh, wood, shit, wood, put the wood down, wood, and now she be dancing and doing all that. Yeah. So why am I going to hate on a woman that's truly loving her man? Because that's me. So, and we got it in like we got it in. Shit. And I didn't have any like physical womanly issues to have babies. That would have been me. Shit for sure. Shit for sure. Peaches is an Aries. Peaches herself is an Aries. I forget what Wood is. I think she said Wood is a Taurus. I think my daughter looked it up. See what I'm saying? That could hello, Wood is a Taurus, Peaches an Aries. That could literally be me, literally been me and Michael for real. If he loved on me the way I needed him to love on me, child, please, baby. That's why I kept trying to tell him, your life wouldn't have went the way it went, child. You see all the kind of crazy drama shit that Peaches said she has experienced with Wood. You don't see Wood ever saying, yeah, Peach cheated on me. The third baby ain't even mine. Like, you don't see Wood saying nothing like that about Peaches. Right? Not saying she ain't never, like, one time, like, he pissed me off and he immediately forgave it. Like, shit, I got 10 kids with you, nigga. I ain't worried about that nigga. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? That's my point. Like, that could have literally been me and Michael Wayne. It could have literally been for real. For real. For real. You see what I'm saying? Okay? Like how Peaches like to be like talking and just like showboaty and just, all this kind of shit. I can see Michael being like that. I can see him being like that. Right? And then me all reserved and like, like in the backdrop, like, like, hey y'all, like what it being shy, I don't want to be on camera. Cause that's literally how I used to be. But behind closed doors and how we do and how we did blah 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 and yeah, I'm pregnant again. You know what I'm saying? But it could have been me. So I just never understood when women like she need to leave Wood. It's like she with the same man though. Had all them children with the same man though. What is y'all talking about? I would rather see her doing it that way with her husband. They're married than to literally be having 5, 6, 7, 8 baby daddies. She got 12 kids, 6 baby daddies. Like, what the fuck is going on? That's too many personalities, too many family backgrounds, too much shit. So I may not agree with how she be like, fuck wood and all that. Like, but you don't know what you would do if you're on social media. You made major money on social media, and then you got to deal with all the social media shit, and then your man doing shit. And so you on your social media and people talking all that shit. And then what I learned about Peach McIntyre is that she be doing TikTok, and that's where she be getting triggered at. So then when she be doing a live on YouTube, it's like she be on TikTok as well. So it'd be like it's a weird energy because every platform has a different energy. I don't think I would like being on TikTok live. I don't like it. We did it for our diamond painting, and I don't like how everything moves all fast, and I can't tell, like, are they in our room? What is all that shit coming across the stream? Banners and shit. I don't like it. I did Big O for a little bit. I don't like all that. All that throwing shit, doing that. I don't like it. Plenty of Fish was the same way. So I like how YouTube is like, okay, all right. You know, yes. You can have people making a whole bunch of comments and shit, saying whatever, they agree with you or whatever, whatever. But when you're doing it the way that I do things, you have to focus because people will try to pull you in and do all that, and then they taking over every time the hell you get on live. Every time, like they taking over. I had already got practice on Plenty of Fish, and that was a predominantly man site. Well, that's all was coming in my lives. Every now and then to be a stud or two come in, pop in and shit like that because I be knowing it because they looking at my profile and liking pictures and shit. That's how I be knowing. I be cross referencing and checking who was in my live, what's going on, what's the energy around me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got a lot of practice on Plenty of Fish before I ever start doing these live streams. So like I said, you must self-reflect. If you talking something, you should be self-reflecting. Don't be just running your mouth. And we can gossip to a degree, but if it doesn't cause you to self-reflect, what good is it gonna do you? So if you pick up some cards and you gossiping, but the cards is helping you gossip better. Majority of tarot readers that are very effective in helping people heal and see clear things going on are using their own personal experiences through growth to give those messages. But I promise you, when you start hearing them, like, because the egg will crack and the yolk will start spilling out. Okay? Okay? So, you got to be very careful of who you following, who you subscribing to and feeding your money to, and hey, can I get a reading and all? You got to be very careful. That's why I tell people I don't do personal readings. Every now and again, if I'm in that energy of the mood of the video, the live, I'll be like, okay, what's going on? Then talk with my people, cool. But no, I don't do no personal because you're gonna have to do your work. You got to do your work. And don't trauma dump on me. I don't want to hear all that shit. And then but I don't know, like, Just in having girlfriends, I know the type of women that I can't be talking to. Because if I got to step out of my character of I did the work and I'm still doing the work and you want to come over here whining, I'm not the one for you. Whoever do personal readings and they're very sweet and loving and they're going to hold your hand, those are the ones that you should go to, and they may actually have it in their description. They do personal readings. Because people don't really want to hear the truth. They really don't. I promise you. I promise you. So this is dynamic right here. You should want to follow the footsteps that God left behind somebody. That's what I'm saying. Boop boop. Okay, we got to make sure that one comes. Let me get that from up under there. That's serious right there. I got to get that wrote up on a card immediately. Yeah, let's not speculate. No, baby, let's investigate. Yeah, to communicate. Okay, yeah, that's all part of this. And telling the truth, yeah, these two got to get wrote up. Telling the truth about other people will automatically cause you to self-reflect. And if you ain't self-reflecting, you just running your damn mouth, and you really not damaging them people so much so because even if you telling the truth about it, you're damaging yourself. You're putting a yoke on your own self. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. So let's get into this. I don't know. I'm going to pull another card. Now, this came out in the reverse. I'm going to pull another card just to see how this is flowing. But this is not my energy at all because, when it's sitting up here talking about, you know, you may be taking unnecessary precautions. That's meaning like it's the same thing I did. So it's a mirroring thing. It's the same thing I did. Like, okay, I don't think I could talk to him because he's so shut it down real quick because it ain't going his way. I'm not finna be dealing with you with that shit. So I shut it down too. Okay, so if I try to communicate with you and say, Michael, what good would it be for me to get pregnant, and then you got this 2 kids over here with this woman? What am I supposed to do with that? Why would I put myself in a position to ever say those things to him? Because he didn't realize how much I already knew him without him feeling like, well, you don't know. Yeah, because you would have said, you don't even know if you would have got pregnant. You already think it's something negative before it even was to happen. Like you don't know if you was gonna get pregnant. You think I'm finna go through talking to somebody doing that? Nope. Okay? So I would feel he would think I was taking unnecessary precautions for shutting it down after he said, get in the car, I'm about to take you home. We not finna do nothing. I'm mad. You don't let me have that pussy naked? Let's go. Let's go. You won't, no. I'm not playing. I'm not gonna come and get in the car, let's go. That's what happened. That's what I felt. Okay? And I'm not good at being taken off guard. Like when I say taken off guard or just like goddamn sideswipe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like startled. I'm not good with being startled with a situation. I told you I don't like surprises. I don't like my daughter, she brought me that. That's not a surprise. I be saying when I be saying that, what you mean? Your daughter brought you that, you didn't know she gonna bring that cup. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about when people not really knowing you think that that's gonna be a surprise. Like, what are you doing? I don't want to go on no boat. You know I can't swim. Why would you go get a cruise? You know I am terrified. I am not getting on a cruise with you. See, that's what I mean by don't surprise me like that. You know what I'm saying? That means you. What are you doing? You thinking you just? I'm gonna just get over the fear because you bought this extravagant cruise. I don't give a shit. I watched that damn show that talked about them people was on that damn cruise and something happened and they were stuck in that damn water, and I can't swim. Hell no. And then I be seasick. No. So that's what I mean by don't do no surprises. You know what I'm saying? My daughter surprised with a cup, some oracles and everything. 2 on the clock. You know what I'm saying? So it's saying taking unnecessary precautions and feeling paranoid. So I definitely felt paranoid because I don't know how to approach this dude. He be seeming like a ticking time bomb. Like, I don't know. I don't like that shit. I don't, you know what I'm saying? And when you don't communicate, oh, I've always told a man that don't communicate is sneaky. I don't give a damn meetup. Well, I just don't talk like, nah, that's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. When you go to the Waterburger and you get you a number, whatever, you gotta talk, motherfucker. You gotta go in there and be like, let me get a number 5, no pickles. You know what, scratch that. Let me get a number 10, no pickles, mayonnaise and mustard, blah 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 blah. I'll take a Sprite. Uh, onion rings. Okay, yeah, and give me an apple pie. All right then. So that means that you had premeditated that I want some Waterburger and I'm about to get me double meat, whatever. But then you tried to not be fat and you tried to go for the single meat and you said, fuck that, I'm going my 10. I'm finna get my double meat. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to self gratify. Right? You see my point? Think about it. Follow me with what I'm saying. So how the fuck is it that you contact a woman that you already know you got what you say is she's controlling, she'll control you. This is in your mind. So why would you approach her not trying to change your approach, but yet expect a different result? You don't know if she's really spiritually grown, mature, or she just wretched as hell now because life just been tearing her ass up and she don't give a fuck and you don't know what she might say. So I would not approach it in a kiddie, immature, kiki ha ha, I'm a jokester type of way as life continue to go on, these years be passing. And that just doesn't make sense. So in a way that a man would move, that he came for something. He showed up to the inbox to get something. Okay? Right? Or did you not? Okay? So for you to operate in this attitude of, she being paranoid, she's being negative. No, 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 no. You're not self-reflecting at all. You're just pointing the finger. And then when she says something to you to trigger your mind, you never mind. I was just stopping by. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for every single time this man came back at me and he talked the same goddamn way every time, I wouldn't have been able to step into 2021 in the way that I did. Because I was like, we finna end this shit. We finna get this shit over with and done with. That was ultimately my attitude for continuing to communicate with him. And to tell myself, okay, Liz, when you get triggered, just calm down. Remember, we already premeditated, thought about this, that if Michael Wayne came back, this is what we're going to do. We thought about this, right? Okay, here's the moment. It took however many years later, but it took 15 to 2021. What that is, 6 years. So, come on with it. So, every time he triggered me, and I think I handled myself. So, if that's what that needed to do for me, to show me how you can speak to someone who's automatically coming with this little mental play shit that you like to do with women, and take the high road and say, okay, why am I here? Why am I agreeing to communicate? I'm agreeing to communicate because I want to not have bad blood between you and I. That was my intention. I don't want to have bad blood with you. And I really want to know, on the flip side, why the fuck you keep chasing me? But I ain't say that initially. I said I just don't want to have bad blood with you. Okay? So I'm going to stick with it. That's the entry point, the initiator. And to continue is because I need to know what's going on with you in your head. Why do you keep doing this? Okay? So this is showing here that in love and relationships, a partner may be guarded, being sensitive, and they're reluctant to open up. So, and listen to Jess Pucks talk about the word dismissive avoidant. So let's talk about what is dismissive. Okay, dismissive avoidant attachment. Okay, first, let's talk about it. What is dismissive avoidant attachment? There are two main categories of attachment: secure and insecure. And that's kind of ironic that he told me, I think you're dealing with your internal insecurities. When I was telling him about my hair shedding and, I think I do have lupus or something like that, autoimmune. Yeah, he told me, you look good to me. I think you're dealing with your internal insecurities. And that's true. Okay? It says there are two main categories of attachment: secure and insecure attachment. As children, we seek comfort and support from our caregivers. If both our physical and emotional needs are being met, we become what's known as securely attached. And I can completely agree with this. Okay? For sure. Secure attachment is the ideal type, is the result of an attachment where the child feels safe, secure, valued, and comforted. Some with secure attachment had caregivers who were emotionally available for them, and they were aware of their own emotions and behaviors. So that ties into what I was talking about, being self-reflective. So even as a parent, when my mother would verbally attack me, it did not make me feel secure in trusting my mom with the more deeper concepts that I was facing as I was growing up as a teenager. Add in to the equation that I was very well aware of my mother's marriage to that Joseph character, that he was mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and spiritually abusive to her, and then he started sexually molesting me. I know that this had something to do with the rift between me and my mama, even subconsciously, to a depth that I didn't like her. And so the distrust got deeper because every time I tried to talk to her about it, she kept shooing me off. And this is why when I'm in a relationship with a man and I'm telling him about something that is breaking me down, because what did I say? Validate your feelings. And he don't want to listen. He's being passive aggressive. He's being dismissive. That ain't gonna work for me. And when you continue to do that to the degree that it is breaking me down emotionally, where I feel like I'm overwhelmed, I want to cry, I'm gonna be violent after that. So I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off. Okay? And you see how I can definitely see that the relationships that I chose to be in, or that I, like the prayer says, hired actors from your past life that came into this life for you to wake up and be activated, that, I can identify you as somebody that is karmic in my life. Okay? And you think it's cute. So why would that make me feel violent? Why would that how would the violence take place? Let's give an example of how the violence would take place. The violence would take place with a character like Quasi saying, "Can I come over and see you?" I say, "Why?" We have never been like that. You have never presented. Now Chris Williams asking me, "Can he come see me?" Yeah, Chris, I stay over here, blah 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 blah. Because that's how we always were. That was our history. That's how we are. But for you, we're not like that. So no, why do you need to come over here for what? And woman, I just wanted to see you with the woo woo. Nope, I'm not having sex with you. All these women out here, you better go find you something to do. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Because what he does is he continues to trigger that energy of feeling like I can't be around a man without him wanting to fuck. And I done told you no, no me, no nigga all day. No. Hell no. That's what it triggers. So the violence will come in when you set your ass there and think you're going to do a little slicky move. Like, if he was sitting on the edge of my bed and I need to go to the bathroom and I pass and my booty is jiggling and he go to do something like that, and you will get your motherfucking ass knocked the fuck. I'm going to grab something to knock your ass out. So I'm going to be violent. Absolutely. Know yourself. And then you can be able to be better aware of what triggers you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it comes from childhood, this energy that they're talking about. A lot of the things we deal with comes from childhood wounding of some sort. It does not have to be of the sexual fashion, but some sort of a wounding, something you didn't receive, something that you were held, that it was there, but you was breadcrumbed it. This is why we'll get with relationships. And if they show me some love, like Christopher Williams would always give me compliments. Always give me compliments. Anytime I would mess my hair up, because I always like to wear my hair short and I'll be trying to trim it and do stuff with a clipper, and he would always tell me, because he's a licensed barber, "You doing it wrong, Liz. It's not how you're supposed to do it. You gotta do it, baby. Let me fix it for you. Fix my hair." I'm like, "Oh my God, Chris, that's exactly how I want it." "Yeah, Liz, see, you got a different texture, baby. See, I know how to work with them different textures and stuff. So you can't, because I got that, that hair. So you can't do that, baby. Woo, woo, woo." So I like it when he be educating me on shit. I'm attracted to that. And then he was very handsome over the years, and so but our sex life wasn't shit, but our communication, was always something that he cared to work on. You know what I'm saying? He would always present himself and come back in the energy like he want to work on it. The last time we communicated, I don't know what he was going through. I don't know if he was having some flashes of that wife. I don't know what had happened in his brain that I couldn't see through the phone, but he started to wig out. Maybe he had a problem with me speaking to him as a friend, and literally telling him that the Quasi situation is still lingering in my life. And I don't know what Mona didn't tell you, but child, let me tell you what's going on. So that's how I told him, because honestly I needed him to see that they're getting close, and you always, "Hey Liz, where you at? What's going on?" You come over, you hang out or whatever. Our house, I always had like living room furniture and everything like that in my other apartments when Chris was coming around, Chris Williams. And we cook or whatever, he welcome, I'm like family and friends. Like, that's how it has to be in order for me to have such a long history of you being at my house. This is why he used to like show up and, "Hey Liz, what you doing? Can I come in?" I'm like, "What happened? You okay?" I mean, it's just, do you mind if I sleep on your couch? See, that type shit. So that's why Chris had a special, like, every man that knew about him always felt like he a threat. And I'm like, what? It ain't even like that. But I guess it was like that. But I was just never. They didn't see how Chris knew how far to go. Chris called, "Can I come over?" Okay, if he just showed up, he showed up because some shit was on his mind. He like, fuck, man, I hope she don't turn me away. But I mean, if she do, I mean, if somebody at the house and whatever, I'm showing up. I didn't call. I don't got a phone number. So then, he'll knock on the door and I'm like, are you okay? What's going on? Like, and he come in and it's something with a woman and he ain't really telling me everything. And I'm like, whatever. So he go take a bath and get on my sofa, whatever, like that. That's what I mean by like family. But I don't have to feel like I gotta go put on a whole suit because he finna come try to get my goods while I'm trying to sleep in my room. I don't gotta feel like that with him. I never had to feel like he trying to take something from me like that. He trying to, be all like that frisky shit. I don't do all that. So that's why I used to tell Quasi, say, you don't know me well at all. I don't play like that, nigga. That's completely triggering my childhood shit. And bitch, I will kill your motherfucking ass. I am not playing with you. Do not touch me. Do not touch me, okay? And I have a daughter, so I've been extremely protective and hyper vigilant of any man being around my child. So I don't play like that. And then my brain start going and start thinking of all shit that I didn't grew up and seen shit in the media and what they doing with children and it's not good, dude. Stay your ass away from me with that bullshit, okay? But he still be trying me. He still be trying me like, oh, she's sweet, she's so loving. I ain't gonna do it. I can control I'm not gonna touch you now. No, you can't. No, you can't control yourself. You got a problem, and I'm not gonna fix it for your ass because that might send me to jail. What? Okay. So yes, it comes from childhood. It definitely does come from childhood. Whether you have a secure attachment or an insecure attachment, and insecure attachments to feminines and masculines that are very karmic and toxic is called a trauma bond. Excuse me. Okay, so secure attachment is the ideal type, is the result of an attachment where the child feels safe, secure, valued, and comforted. So as I started talking about how I was not secure, I didn't feel valued because my mother treated me very mean, even more mean after that after that point in our life. Someone with secure attachment had a caregiver who was emotionally available. I can never talk to my mother. Okay, she always shut me down and aware of their own emotions and behaviors. She would be oblivious to how she would hurt me. Oblivious. The child or act oblivious. The child then goes on to model that in their future relationships. So that's why I said I was paranoid, very, very scared, cried a lot, was very emotionally distraught in my pregnancy for at least the first two trimesters. Just praying. I did a lot of praying, being by myself in my room, talking to my baby in my belly and praying over her. That's what I did a lot. Okay? There are three different types of insecure attachments. Anxious kind is called anxious, disorganized, and dismissive avoidant. The third type is also referred to as simply being avoidant. Someone with a dismissive avoidant attachment will avoid intimacy and prefer independence. I believe that's what I was going through. I do believe it, and I feel like the sexual abuse made me not like my body, made me feel like something is wrong with me if I'm attracting that type of attention that was abusive, that hurt me, that I didn't like it. What is going on? So I think that I did operate like that, and that's the reason why. If Michael said that I use my sex as a weapon, I don't know what he's talking about because I didn't give you none. So how is it? So is that the weaponry because you didn't get it? Like, I don't know what you're saying. I think you can't say that in words. I think you can say you never wanted to let me be with you and see you, or fuck you. I'm grown enough. You can say it. But I think he's reflective because he does have a lot of daughters and a mother and sisters and women around him. So I do believe he be reflective of what he thinks and not to say it. I would hope. I would hope. But you can't tell a woman that's literally like me saying to Michael that I felt he was gonna rape me. I can't say no fucking words like that and ever take that back. I mean, and ever just take it back and be like, I didn't mean to say no. Yeah, you said Come on now, I gotta be thinking before I say it. So I would never attach an energy like that to Michael Wayne, but I definitely would attach an energy like that to Quasi. 100%. 100%. He acts like he cannot control his sexual urges. Facts. Facts. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, when you deal with a man that is operating in this energy of like, I'll come and fuck, but then I need to be independent of you after that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what? What are you doing? So it's saying they avoid intimacy. And what is intimacy? Intimacy is really honing in on how a person breathes when they're laying in your arms. But they got to be given the opportunity to lay in your arms without it being a sexual performance. They're laying in your arms. I'm very sensual. Being a Taurus, I'm Venus and Taurus. I'm very sensual. I'm like how my man's skin feels, his beard. If he has facial hair, which majority of men I deal with do, or dealt with. I haven't been dealing with any man. And his facial hair is very like, it's like I want to play his beard and stuff. I want his scent. Oh my God, his scent. And I'm not talking about strong cologne. I'm just talking about his natural essence of how he is after he's bathed and he got his certain preferred deodorant on or whatever type of body wash he uses, natural soap, his essence, you know what I'm saying? Pheromone, that's it. And just all of that. I'm like, I want to play footsies and stuff, I want to, do nosies. I like doing all of that. That's intimacy. Having conversation, pillow talk that doesn't make you feel, you know, like you got to hold back. This is an intimate space. This is a sacred space. So intimacy. All right. And it says someone with a dismissive, avoidant attachment will avoid intimacy and prefer to be independent. This attachment style is usually the result of actual or perceived rejection. Thank you. That's why I was like, Jess, thank you so much. And it really highlighted that Michael said, you shit on me. And I never could understand what he was talking about. Like, what? And then after he say it, he avoids talking. He say it, and then that's it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about right now in this moment. I'm going to look at my phone, and I'm going to go sin. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah. Now, is the shipment come in? No, I didn't even get that part. No, they told me that one wasn't gonna. That one was. Oh, it was the wrong one. Like see how he just shifted, And I'm over here with the phone. Sin, sin, baby, motorcon. I wasn't thinking that sin. See. So he gave just a little breadcrumb, or set me up, and then just leave me hanging. So it made me start thinking like, how could you have been my husband and we going to therapy? Because we would definitely need some therapy if we would have stayed together over all these years of coming back and forth to each other. I always saw therapy in my life like a higher spiritual awareness of life. That's me, and I did go to therapy in my teenagehood. So I was like, how can we do that? And you would just drop that little bit. And then you're going to get mad because if we get the right kind of therapist, you're going to be like, oh, she taking your side. She taking your side because, see, that's what women do. It means two women or something. Like, okay, let's have a man. He taking your side. Like, I mean, come on. Take accountability. It says, this attachment style is usually the result of actual or perceived rejection from caregivers during the first 18 months of life. So it's 12 months in a year. So that's like, what, almost 2 years old? My mama, I was with my mama all my life. So that's interesting that this particular therapist who wrote this is saying that first 18 months of life. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I feel like should really months of life. I don't know about that. Okay, the jury's still out on that. I would take up like within up the teenage years up to 18 because it can happen at any point. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't agree with that. Signs and symptoms of dismissive avoidant attachment. The most dominant aspect of a dismissive avoidant style is self-sufficiency. People with dismissive avoidant attachments despise the idea of relying on someone else. Yeah, I definitely deal with that. Totally. My daughter always have to tell me all the time, "Mama, I love you. I'm gonna be there for you." She keep on coming out with all these little things. So what's this for bingo?
Yeah.
I'm like, "Mama, get the snack bag." I'm like, "Girl, I ain't got but 2 hands, 3 hands." Okay. She be looking at little stuff I be sending her, and then she end up buying it. They be giving us all these like coupons and all kind of stuff on Shein and Temu. And I don't like it. And she's like, "Mom, I got you, you know." And she doesn't got so customized to where when I be constantly talking about my pain, my weakness, my tired, when it get like that, and then she be, if I get to walk in and I be leaning on my bed and trying to like, and she'll just get up and help me to the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've had to learn to rely on her, you know what I'm saying? To rely on her, especially after I failed at one time and sliced my damn thigh up. And that shit was scary. Cause it could have been way worse than that. Okay. I had to start listening to her too, because she said, "Mama, you was doing too much. We had just moved in. You was doing too much. We could have got to that later. That wasn't no big deal. Let rest. Equally unappealing is other people relying on them. Oh, see, I don't have that part. I don't have a part. I don't have a problem with my family, people I love relying on me. That shows me that I'm reliable. Interesting. Now, characteristics of a dismissive, avoidant attachment style. Secretive. Ooh, look, I can't make it up. Secretive. And what did I say his card always came out as? Seven of spades. Seven of spades. Oh my goodness. O M and the G. And this is still fire energy. This is fire. Fire, solar plexus, Mars, Leo. Okay? And this is so crazy because my Mars is literally in Leo in my natal chart. That's another thing that I started noticing as I was studying my natal chart. Then I started studying Cards of Destiny, which is really what opened me up to a deeper going in with the tarot. Okay? So it says secretive. This is the we're going to break down now characteristics of a dismissive, avoidant attachment style. Okay? Secretive. In addition, people who are dismissive, avoidant are often secretive and inflexible. I just said that men that don't talk, men that be like, "Well, I'm at work." I mean, just use all kind of excuses on why they can't really. There's, I mean, we can go into all the tactics of, all that shit, right? But it's enough people here on YouTube that's breaking all that down, okay? Because I don't like to go into it talking like that. I say energy vampires, okay? And I can better expound upon it from that jump off point than to be saying the narcissist, somatic, blah, 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 all of that. No. Because we can all be narcissistic, which means extremely self-absorbed. We all can be like that, okay? All. But when you don't know how to balance it, and I feel like this. The type of people that I can't deal with that are selfish to their own demise. They're selfish to their own. I mean, they are so self-sabotaging and then get lonely or get isolated off. Most of the time, if it's a masculine that is, I'm gonna just speak on the black man that be doing that type shit, he end up in jail. And so there he have to learn his lessons by being amongst other masculines and seeing how his personality and all his internal conflict and all of that shit magnified in jail. Yeah, I feel like whatever Terrence went through, he dealt with it. He was shown that he can deal with his inner conflict through isolation because he I guess he felt I guess the universe kept making it be the case for him. He stays in for a long time out of his life. So you'd have thought that when he got out of prison, his mentality would have been more so like gratitude. Gratitude. And I mean authentic gratitude to the Most High God. Mm-hmm. That's what ultimately turned me off about him. Like, dude, you've been praying God, all them letters about, man, I'm praying God, being a God is good and all this. I was reading my Bible, and I kept telling him, faith is something that you got to do through work. And I say, you got to work on yourself. You got to work on your family relationship. You got to do all that. And you got to have heart about it, meaning like you really are truly in it. If your Atlantic Star said, if your heart ain't in it, just let it go. You know? So, secretive. In addition, people who are dismissive, avoidant, are often secretive, inflexible, not allowing their own plans to be influenced by others. So, by her writing it like that, that's like, let's say, secretive about money. Secretive about money. So, in a relationship with the masculine that will operate like this, it could be where whatever monies is in the joint account that he decides that he wants to do this or do that. He might have ran it by the wife, but because she would be more want to run numbers and all of that, and he feels she just being negative or trying to be controlling. Especially anytime I deal with a man that constantly use the word controlling, that tells me a lot about him. Because if that's the way that you see a woman you want to slide deep inside of as being controlling, sounds like you want to be controlled. Or somebody is influencing your life that's a very dominant woman and you don't like how she controls you. So therefore, when you be with a feminine, you do everything to make sure she doesn't control you. So it's a projection that that's what she wants to do. And therefore, especially when communication is secretive, like, in other words, you got all these kind of good thoughts on how things can be better for our relationship, but you keep them to yourself. I call it adult tantrums. When children don't get their way, and they just, I never dealt with that with my daughter. My mama never, I never did that as a child and got away with it. No, so who's allowing you to get away with these adult tantrums? You must have got away with some shit as a child. And it's flowing over into adulthood. And then when women that came through their own upbringing had to be accountable, had to show up and act like they understood. They weren't perfect. They did things, but they learned their lessons. Like, I mean, I just don't be getting it with a lot of times when men don't understand that how do we be such great mothers if we don't be disciplined? It doesn't make sense. You want me to not be disciplined with you, but yet to let you do everything, run amok and shit. But then, I mean, you're a great mother. You know what I'm saying? You're a beautiful woman. You know, I should have been better to you. And da 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 da. What woman want to hear all that shit? You woulda, shoulda, coulda. But nigga, you keep trying to block me from moving forward. The fuck? That's why I speak so candid over here, because I know it's a plenty of women going through shit and wish they had an outlet, wish that they could understand how to help themselves. And it's about being very reflective over your childhood wounding that is causing you to be an adult that's accepting things because you don't feel like you deserve better. And notice I said feel. You don't feel like you deserve better. You feel unworthy. And if you had any sexual abuse, that's why you're dealing with the sexual injuring in relationships. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They often choose not to share their plans at all. And that's crazy. Because I was talking to Michael one time and I said, but Michael, I mean, I don't know. How am I going to know what's going on? You don't tell me. I'm not about to be telling some woman from my past. It was the way he said it. From my past. See, these are things that have been hurting me this whole time. And why would I want to communicate with you? Why would I talk to you again? Why would every time, every year, it seemed like every woman he married, he came back towards me? It didn't make sense. When I found out about the marriages, I looked them all up. I couldn't understand how the fuck. And I don't. What do you think? I'm senile. A bald head and all that gray hair don't make me senile. Why is it the timestamp of this year you came back at me a little bit after that? Wow, you married her. You came after me again a little bit after that. Why was that happening? That shouldn't have been happening. With the fact that there's so many other women that you could have been pursuing or whatever. What? Why would I not be pissed off about that? Why would I not have an attitude over the times that you did come back and I did communicate with you? I'm going to address it. I'm going to address it. I'm going to keep addressing it. And so since I felt compelled to finally really be serious about healing myself, Most High God said, you're not fixing to die. You're sick. You're going through it. You're sick. You're going through it. But you ain't finna die. Not right now. I was like, what you saying? I'm just sick. I mean, I know it. I feel it's coming. I need to prepare my daughter. Nah. So I was like, okay, well, I gotta do something. I can't live in my body with my mind being like this and my heart hurting. I gotta do this. Never ever did I think I was gonna be on social media. Ever. Not once. Didn't see it at all. Didn't see it at all. And I told you about when I was doing my voicemail, setting up my phone for my voicemail, I didn't like how my voice sound. And I would re-record it so much before I got it the right way where I was like, okay, we'll settle for that one. That was the seventh damn recording. Shit. You know, that was the 10th recording. That was the fifth one. Sometimes I would get better because I stopped hyper being critical of myself. I could always hear myself criticizing myself in my head. It was there. It was there mentally with hearing myself talk, and then it was also there with me liking what I see in the mirror, right? And then I dealt with that with the way Chris would compliment me. It's the way he complimented me that would always have me so attracted to our connection. It didn't feel like gaslighting. It didn't feel like, I don't even like using terms. It didn't feel like he was blowing smoke up my ass. It didn't feel like that. It felt so genuine because it would hit at crazy times when we're eye to eye talking. And I'm just expressing and being myself and like, no, but still though, see, because remember, and da 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 da, and I'm smiling. I'm not even paying attention. I'm not talking to him in front of a mirror, so I don't see myself. And he'll be like, Liz, you are so fucking pretty. And it would just grab my heart, and I'm like, Chris, stop. Like, you making me lose my concentration. And that's right then in that moment when I recognize that I do not be accepting compliments. And before Chris came into my life, anytime a young man tried to, because I met Chris at the age of 20, anytime a young man would have, speak to me or something and he cute, I know I would show that I was like blushing about it. But in my head, why is he looking at me? Why would he think I'm pretty? Why would he think, nah, anyway, all these other women, he too fine, and these other women. I was doing that shit in my head. Several times after meeting Chris, I met guys that would tell me, you can't accept a compliment woman. Chris knew how to deal with my sassiness to a degree. To a degree, when he wanted to. He's a Leo. So I guess I did have an affinity for fire signs. I was talking all that shit. I can't deal with the fucking Aries. I knew my mom was an Aries. That's why you say it like that. But I guess I do have an affinity for the fire signs because Chris is a Leo. So, and the ones that drove me crazy was always fire signs. I mean, they drove me crazy to want to get my shit together. Fire signs. Leo, Michael is an Aries, and Derek Jackson, yeah, he's a Sagittarius. So fire signs. Okay, so I had to get over this shit. We not your mama. We might trigger you and shit, but it's different from dealing with a relationship with your mama. Um. So yeah, that happened. Okay. Now here's the dismissive part. When someone tries to get close to a person with a dismissive, avoidant attachment issue, they are likely to move in the opposite direction, backing away. That's what I did. That's what I did. For this reason, they can come off as cold and distant. So I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think he liked it how I pushed him away because he felt it. It wasn't necessarily words. It was like, because I didn't argue with Michael. I didn't argue with him at all. He would be like, you know what? Now you because he has like a light voice. You was the one man. That ain't even what happened. That ain't even what happened. Okay, was you trying to call me when you was fucking them other niggas? Now you want to come back. This is what he said to me. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? Because this shit should have been said back then. In a different way, because it would be not me coming back to you because I'm a younger version of myself. Back then, you didn't say shit. So he was doing the same damn thing. Yep. Acting cold and distant. He went in the opposite direction. You did the same thing, Michael. Yep. Let's continue, class. Arrogance. The next one is arrogant. Arrogant. Oh my gosh. If it is something I cannot stand about an Aries man, is arrogance. Oh my gosh. Arrogance. Now, I would not have said Chris was arrogant. Chris Williams, he would always talk down on himself. And I'm like, Chris, stop doing that. You know you are handsome. Stop that. Man, Liz, I ain't tripping on all that. That woman ain't worried about me. She probably think I say, see, there you go. Now you're doing too much. Man, woman, don't start that little lady. Don't you start that little woman. I'm like, no, because you already know. You are, okay, I'm finna go. Because see you pissing me off. Okay, Liz, don't let the other Gemini come out. We don't have to get into it or nothing. I ain't tripping, okay? That woman did come to my shop, and she did, and that's how he would calm me down because he realized I need an explanation. All that old buttering me up and Liz and all that shit. No. Don't put me in a cross with nobody. I don't play like that. You know I don't play like that. You should know. 1994 to today, you should know. You got history. Stop. Okay? So the arrogance. I wouldn't say Leo. Leos can be arrogant, I'm sure. But most, Leo, any man that I seen like on a social media dating site and it said Leo, he was very attractive. So I can understand what that kind of, they're the sun, it's like, they're, the Leo, the lion, king of the jungle. Like, okay, it goes with the territory if you really think about it. But with the Aries, it's like, it's the ram. So it's like sitting there like, so let's say an Aries with, a water sign, a crab or a scorpion or a fish. You can imagine how a ram would be like, man, first of all, fish, well, you over here, you not supposed to be on earth, on dry land, you supposed to be in the water. So, it's no comparison right there, And you can see that to be true. So, if that's a certain, how can I say, a tad bit of arrogance, okay. Okay, cool beans. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like I told y'all, my chart has Leo in it, Mars. So I get it. So that's Aries too, ruler of Mars and shit like that too. So I was like, okay. So it says those with the dismissive avoidant attachment often appear very confident. So that's why I was saying all of that. They're very confident. So that's attractive. Okay. They sometimes display toxic behavior where they act as though they are better than others and criticize people. Now, let's talk about it. We gonna talk about the policy. This is how this is why I addressed this earlier, and I said, if you are talking shit about somebody, It's still shit. First of all, mama always told me this. If you won't say it to their face, keep your mouth closed. So, in my observation of someone, let's just say my observation of my cousin Mona. Let's use somebody personal. I would tell her in her face, like eyeball to eyeball. Now, am I there to cause a fight or cause something violent to erupt? No. So I'm going to have a different tone and demeanor of how I'm addressing the said situation. But when she's defensive with lies, and my cousin Mona is a Sagittarius, when she is defensive with lies, it's based on where I'm at now. You can't be in the front of me face to face with that bullshit. It's about to go down. Based on where I am today. Back then, it would have been more like, you know what, is this worth my time? Anyway, because Mars Leo, right? Is this worth my time? Nah, it ain't. Anyway, whatever. I don't give a fuck. So when I get like that, a person gonna hang up the phone on me because it's like when they're trying to bait me in an argument, and I just go. See, my rising being an Aquarius, I can instantly just like put some air on that shit. You know, the Aquarius is the water bearer, and just be like, bop bop, whatever. Be extremely like dismissive, I guess, or whatever you want to attach to the word. And when a person feel that they couldn't bait me in, they hang up the phone. So that's usually what would happen with me and my cousin when we get into it, because of her sticking her nose in my motherfucking business. Yeah, opening her mouth, interjecting into my life when I didn't ask you for your counseling. I do not do that to you. So I'm a respecter person. So don't do something to me that I don't do to you. Okay? So if I don't call you asking you for money, why is you on my phone line? I needed some groceries last week. Did you come to help me? I didn't know nothing about it. That's because we don't talk. Why you on my phone now? And you see how there's another hang up in my face. Because that's just the way that I'm going to get down for now on in my life. Because I have no more room for people showing up to use me. You using me, you using my daughter, because my daughter is the one taking care of me to keep me afloat. So why would you think I will allow you to come in, use me, therefore you using her? Really? What? What happened? What had happened? What had happened? No. Even using me by using my home space to be in here, putting your energy in here, and she don't like you, that's still bothering her. So we're not doing that. Okay? So with this toxic behavior of criticizing people and you don't self-reflect, and I already talked about the self-reflecting part. If you don't like your mama and how she always in your business, but she don't do that to your brother or your sister, that's self-reflect part right there where I said, and she don't do that to your brother or sister. You self-reflecting, like, how does that make me feel? That's the self-reflecting part. If you never say that, then you just want to talk about your family. I've dealt with that coming in on my phone so much from people over the years. Okay? Over the years. That's the craziest shit ever. Like how people, and it was mostly coming from women, of course, calling my phone and telling me all this shit, but not self-reflecting. Right? My husband could really vouch for this when I say this. That he used to always say, you on the phone talking to Tracy, talking shit about me. I said, no, I'm telling the truth about what I'm going through because I want to keep my mind as sane as possible before I get myself in some legal trouble fucking with you. And he would just walk off. Because when I was just trying to talk to you, what did you do? Walk off. Fake, future fake. Baby, I'm going to change my ways. I'm going to take care of myself. You right. You right. That wound, you right. I shouldn't have been doing that. And I wasn't taking care of it no more. And then, you see what I'm saying? So no, I'm not on the phone talking to Tracy intimately about what's going on between me and you step by step. So you walk up and like, yeah, girl, so he wouldn't fuck last night. Nah, that's him in the kitchen right now. Like, that's what I'm doing. Is that what I'm doing? No, I'm talking about how I'm very sick. I don't feel good. I don't know what's going to happen. But this shit in my house ain't going to keep going on. That's what the fuck I said. Because if I'm trying to talk to you in an intimate space and you're gonna play the little role, baby, okay, okay, I'm gonna do better, and then you walk away and now you're doing the same shit within the same 24-hour period of time, I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown, but I'm gonna make sure I get this problem out of my house. And I'm talking. I need to talk out my shit. Because if I don't talk out my shit, I'm gonna react. Because it and this is so sickening how this happens where these men literally be acting like you are their mother. Like you just took the nipple up out their mouth, you put them on your chest and you burped them, and then they want you to give them head. Like this shit is psychologically for real. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I knew that I had to get myself out of it. Because he was not going to be like, you know what, this ain't working out. I'm going to go on and go about my business and everything. And I'm like, okay. And then you do the divorce thing and you go about your damn business. It wasn't going to go like that. And I didn't know how to end and, like y'all hear me say, separate as in divide. You go over there and I'm going to be where I'm going to be. But we ain't being in the same house together. I ain't got time for it. No, some of them do grow up. All of them are not liking to stay in a very broken state of being. All of them know. I'm not gonna leave, continue to live with the energy of all of them are dogs. I'm speaking, anything I'm talking about on this channel is completely personal. But it's also in a way that so many other women are going through this right now today in this very moment, are going through this. They're very terrified on how they're going to move forward. And this is a spiritual energy that comes over women's lives to choke us the fuck out. That's why you have to look at it from a spiritual standpoint, because if you don't literally choose yourself, some of us women have had to fight our way literally in a violent, physically, like get a gun, whatever the fuck we gotta do to get up out that situation. And then we know God got us. But we had to make a conscious decision to say, okay, I'm not going to listen to his lies. I'm not going to. My ex-husband would tell me that he could not leave because he had nowhere to go. And I caught that motherfucker on tape, literally lying. And I did that for me. You think I was going to put that shit on social media? Like, if I didn't even like looking at my own self on a camera because I feel like I'm ugly, I'm fat, all that shit I used to feel about myself way back then, why would I put him on camera? That's 10 times more embarrassing because it looks like I deserve that. Psychologically, if I look at that, it's on my channel. My daughter did a video that was supposed to be reflective of what I had left behind with him. But the way she did the video, she didn't realize this. That from a psychological standpoint, it looked like I was the abuser. Because those that would show up to the channel to feed the negative energy, to pull the energy down, would literally be feeding that they've done this on this channel with my own videos about my health. That it got so much attention of me having I had like a neurological fit, sleeping. Like it was like a seizure type thing. That my daughter chose to record so she could show me when I came back to. And they let that video get so much attention that I didn't even know it was getting attention. They wasn't even letting me know, okay, this video got 1,000 views. Like, so when I found it, digging around on my metrics or whatever page, the studio, I'm like, why the fuck would this video get so much attention? And then when I literally saw who it was attached to, and I mean, this is what I'm telling you. When I say the Most High God don't be playing when it comes to you doing your true big one. When you want your big one, oh, the Most High God ain't gonna play with you. You gonna see everything. And when Spirit showed me literally click here, click there, and I'm like, what the fuck how is this even on YouTube? It was attached to a certain man's channel that was doing some shit on his channel. Oh yeah. And back then, when I would be so shocked, I wouldn't screenshot shit. Like, I was like, or one thing I did do is save it. I would save it in like a watch later, and then it would be gone. So now I screenshot every goddamn thing. So if I see some shit, I'm a. So now, even though the video might be gone, the person's channel might be gone, you see it existed, don't you? Look at these fucking screenshots. So I told my daughter, I said, could you imagine what would feed into that? So when she looked at it, because we watched it together, it was a very short video. It's still on the channel, but it's blocked. She was like, oh, I see what you're saying, mama. I said, me and you were there. We know what happened. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be careful on how you do. You'd have to basically, this would be a video that if I was to show that particular video you chose to show what I left behind, because I was going to do I was already doing this as I was doing my healing here on this channel. I was looking at the year in review. That's how I started doing it. You know, organizing my thoughts. And I didn't realize that I was on the right path until I was looking into my cards of destiny, who was always saying you're on the right path. You're on the right path. This is what you're doing right now. I'm like, oh my God, I am actually doing it right now. How did he know? How did he know? Right? So it just intrigued me to keep going. But I was doing a year in review, and I wanted to show me moving past this. And I told my daughter to take certain clips to put together, but she did it how she felt creatively to do it. And she put a little bit of one particular situation too long, in there. The certain spaces, things that happened in that moment, she put those. And I was like, no, I would have used this video or that video instead of this. I would have put a clip of this in there, but then put this in. So she was like, okay. But I said, but you know what? It's on private, so I reviewed it. And it just really just showed me how much I was putting up with. It just showed me that again, and why I left or kicked his ass to the curb. Shit, no apologies. So no, every man is not bad. Every man is not corrupt. Every man is not living their life like they want to go around the world and hurt women and tear their hearts up and steal their money and have sex with their children. And you know what I'm saying? Like, every man ain't doing no type shit like that. So please get out of that mentality, beloved, and really just know that that's not what I'm doing over here on this channel. I'm not man bashing. I'm if you listening what's going on, it ain't no men bashing. I'm just telling the truth about my personal experience and telling the truth about how when you can see it from this angle and see it from that angle, and how can we come to a harmonious, healed and wholeness state of being. It's always an end goal. Okay? So the it's also showing here this can look like they have a superiority complex, but in reality they are highly fearful. So I strongly feel like me not me choosing never to try to talk to Michael again, explain nothing to him again. He looked at that as rejection, and I feel like that was the arrogance because other women had been stigmatized and wanted to continue to charm the snake. I chose not to. I had a really great snake that got me pregnant, so I don't feel like I had to be like, you know, oh my God, the dick, the dick. Like, what? Who was that said that shit? Oh, Wesley Snipes said that on Disappearing Acts when he told ZAHNAE, when he was like, and you was like, oh baby, you so fine, the dick, the dick. Like, but now, cause I can't hold my, I can't carry my weight. Right now things is on you. It's over with. You wanna kill my baby? You wanna kill my baby? You know, type shit. So they are very distrusting. Avoiding individuals tend to have an underlying belief that other people cannot be trusted or relied upon. They cope with this by not counting on anyone besides themselves and suppressing their need for closeness. They usually choose to deal with their problems independently, even if people don't offer any help. I mean, even if people do offer help. And Michael did say that to me. That's how I knew that this was connected to him. He did say that to me. He said, I don't talk about my shit. I don't talk about my problems. I keep shit to myself. He said that out his mouth. Fear of abandonment. Avoidant individuals tend to believe that when others notice that they have deficiencies, avoiding individuals tend to believe that when other people notice that they have deficiencies, they will abandon them. Oh my God. And that's so crazy because this card is here, right here. Abandonment. Now, I feel like that has something to do with not expressing what it felt like for someone not to call you back, not to talk to you anymore, or just shut down on you. I feel like, again, this works both ways. For a woman to validate her feelings works the same way for a man to validate his. Both people are going to be required to mature spiritually. It's a difference. Spiritual maturity always deals with self reflecting, validating your feelings, owning up to how you played a part in the breakdown, owning up on how you played a part in the breakdown with fathering your children, mothering your children. The business went under. Like, what kind of behaviors, what kind of thoughts led to behaviors that these things kept crumbling or stayed on shaky ground? That is both people's responsibility. Both sexes, masculine and feminine. Okay? So I can say from my childhood, I didn't fear being abandoned because my mother was not communicative. She was not communicative at all in a way that was effective in letting me know that she loved and cared about me and wanted my best. Like, it's a lot of investing in time. Like, I invest in so much time with my daughter that I don't even count it. Like, I mean, she's 30, so I don't think in terms of that. Whatever I need to do to make sure she feels heard, her feelings are validated, and she can truly find a way to express herself by communicating those feelings, those ideas, those inspirations. That is my job as her mother. Not to ever feel like I'm too busy. You know what I'm saying? So when my mom didn't have a job, she didn't have a career. So of course resentment steps in because I'll be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I guess being that strong Taurus energy in my chart made me very practical. And all that air energy, with the Aquarius rising, Aquarius moon, made me very logical, emotionally logical, emotionally intelligent. So I never understood why my mom would like act like, excuse me, she been at work all day. She trying to, all of that, and I'm bugged. I'm like, Mama, can you have my homework? It wasn't like that. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So that's any child. If the mama do go to work, but then you have to practically think, okay, did you grow up with projects and roaches and rats and all that and shooting outside and all that? So your mama did whatever she had to do and y'all moved in a nice place. That's me. That's exactly what I would be explaining to that person who's saying that they wanted their mother's attention. But now that they're adults, mama, nah. That's what I love watching Dr. Well, that lady told me that she's doctor, but all her stuff says Iyanla Vanzant. Iyanla Vanzant, I call her goddess, okay? Straight up. I mean, embodying all her God-given talents and gifts. And I love it how I watched the one where she did with Linnell and Linnell's daughter. Linnell and her daughter. You see? Because she had stated that she went through something like that where she was trying to make it in the comedy and movies. She did movies too. And, her daughter was saying that every time her mama was packing to go to another show or travel, she felt abandoned. In the way that she gave them tools. I love how she always do the exercises. I love that. You know? So I just am grateful that, like I tell you guys, the two words that I've been using in my mind is like if you turn on a neon sign in an office window, well, I turn on the neon sign of gratitude and humility. And I feel like when I approach it with gratitude, that I'm in all kind of pain right now, and I'm still talking and hearing myself talk, hearing what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, seeing who I'm bringing up, who I didn't bring up. I'm hearing myself and being very aware in the moment. I'm clearly in the moment. I'm here. I'm here. I am present for myself. And then that humility phase is these people that I speak on that hurt me. And I'm talking about the Terrence Martindale. I'm talking about the Christopher Williams. I'm talking about the Quasi Rael. But when I talk about Michael, I really just don't have like no major anger that I can hold on with him. I mean, I don't be holding on to it because it's like I feel like he read me wrong and I obviously don't know him. See? I'm very practical. I don't really see a reason that I should say, I'm going to hold on resentment. So I'm still healing because I'm talking about the men that did hurt me. You notice I didn't even say my child's father. I didn't say him, did I? I didn't say him because I dealt with that energy over and over again as long as I needed to, and I'm done with that. That is a truly let go situation. My daughter's 30 years old now. So I'm telling her that I had sensed that her father was going through some health shit, going through something. I sensed it. And that if she had a window of opportunity to try once again, I'm supporting her to have closure with him, or I don't really see a new beginning, but I do see closure. I'm gonna always be an advocate for closure, or like coming together, agreeing that this man is this type of man, and this is how it was, and how did it make me feel, and um, so now I have some experience to know what I will not put up in a man showing up in my life trying to become Roderick Davis in my life as my partner. So I'm supporting her on that, right? So that is still an open book, is what I'm trying to say. Those books that I felt like I work hard to close, that keep on trying to come back at me, them are the ones that I got a problem with. So that dude put Michael on the shelf as one of those books. Me and Roger talked in 2006. After 2006, we spoke again like 2015. I was finna go and have my gallbladder removal surgery. And he tried to like be flirtatious again, pissed me the fuck off. But I ain't say nothing because I couldn't, because I'm just recovering from my surgery. And my daughter had it in with him. So that was the last thing that I ever dealt with him in 2015. So we in 2026. I don't have anything that I need to say to him negatively. I don't have anything I need to say to him positively. But I'm literally there for my daughter forever the time comes around. Because sometimes men, when they know they're about to, go into another phase of their life where they're getting older, they really accept it. Like, damn, I'm getting older. Yeah, shit. Like, what? If I'm 51, Roderick is. Let me do the math. I don't know why I gotta type shit out so I can see it. I do. Roderick is 54. Her dad is 54 years old. So, you know, all of us, we never know when them health crises and things and stuff creep up and all kind of stuff, and our lifestyle open the door to this living environment, all kind of shit. So I told her I sensed something was going on with him, and that we made space for some kind of closure to come around for her to know what's going on with her dad. Okay. Um, and have some closure. Yeah. So the fear of abandonment, I feel could actually fit me too because I just read that last sentence. So it says avoidant individuals tend to believe that when others notice their deficiencies, they will abandon them. No, I don't really feel that I dealt with that up until Michael. Okay. With the whole health thing, and then he would abandon me. He would, So to avoid this from happening, they abandon others first. And I didn't do that. I did not do that with him, which I thought I would, but I didn't. I went through it. I walked it through. I went through it. But I did feel this feeling with Ashley's dad. You know, well, if I can't be with you, I'm not being there for that little girl. That's how that happened. Suppress emotions. Oh, yeah. Here you go. Here we go. Individuals with a dismissive avoidance style often suppress or completely dismiss their own emotions. They can have a hard time even recognizing that they actually do have feelings. And that was crazy to me because when he said, I do have feelings for you, I do. Like, I mean, I'm not, it's not just lust. It made me, it was like, why wouldn't you call me on the phone and tell me that it's not just lust? Don't text me that because I can't read how you texting it. I can't feel your energy. I can't hear how you are saying what you're saying. So, anyway, that still felt like a bait and switch. Okay? It says they can have a hard time even recognizing their feelings. They hold a belief that emotions indicate that they're being weak and vulnerable, something they try to avoid at all costs. Well, that's exactly why I said what I said, that there was no way he was going to be avoiding me, treating me any kind of way like I just have his baby and that's it. No, it wouldn't have went like that. That's exactly why I said that. Additional characteristics of dismissive avoidant attachment. Putting up walls when someone tries to be intimate. Oh, that would have been quasi. Having difficulty trusting others. That would be quasi. Possibly Michael. Possibly. Ending relationships just to gain a sense of freedom. I feel like that could definitely be quasi. Possibly Michael. Seeming distant to a partner. Definitely quasi. Possibly Michael. Suppressing emotions. Both of them. Feeling significant highs and lows. Both of them. Denying support. Probably both of them. Holding a strong desire to handle distress alone. Both of them. Exhibiting jealous behavior. Both of them. Difficulty being vulnerable. Both of them. Spending more time alone than interacting with others. That could possibly be definitely quasi. I don't think that about Michael. He's all on social media. Dismissive avoidance attachment is the opposite of anxious attachment, which is characterized by being dependent on others to feel validated. So that was Terrence. Wow. Wow. It says, and the anxious attachment of dismissive avoidant energy is going to be very codependent. Wow, this shit is deep. So, here in summary are the causes of people that have adopted a dismissive avoidant attachment. Their relationship with the caregiver. Okay? It's the bond in the first year or two of life that really matters. The child wonders question like, will other people take care of me? Can I trust and rely on them? I just don't know how that happens in the brain at such a young age like that. Possible reasons why the caregiver was distant include being a young parent and not being mature enough to care for your baby, dealing with a highly stressful situation in life, like the death of a loved one or themselves being abandoned by the partner that gave them the child, mental illness such as major depressive episodes. Okay? Major depressive episodes. More often than not, the parent has a dismissive, avoidant attachment style and carries that on to the next generation. Wow. Another way that people can develop avoidant attachment style is unstable living situations in their childhood. Examples include being adopted, switching foster homes, experiencing their parents going through a divorce, and the death of a parent or a close caregiver. Situations like this, where the child is without a constant person to rely on for love and support, are more likely to breed dismissive avoidant attachment disorder. Genetics. Researchers found genetic similarities in twins that developed certain attachment styles in future relationships despite being in different environments. Recent studies suggest that both nature and nurture contribute to individual differences in adult attachment. I agree with that. Impact of being a dismissive, avoidant person. in a romantic relationship is this. Even though they despise intimacy, dismissive avoidants still enter into romantic relationships. However, their behaviors often lead to the downfall of that relationship. They tend to take a step back every single time their partner takes on towards them. Their partner is left feeling alone, ignored, and abandoned. If this is addressed, the dismissive, avoiding person might claim they are being controlled. There it is. There go the word. If this is addressed, that the person is being dismissive and avoidant, the person will then say that they are being controlled. They may look for things to criticize in their partner, or they may simply be rude or mean as a defense mechanism. This is a way to self-sabotage and end the relationship. Damn. So this is the key. How does this disorder, dismissive avoidant disorder, affect intimacy? People that are dismissive avoidants can fall in love, but even when they do, they may be in denial that they're in love. It's quite difficult for someone with this attachment to show love, at least not in the typical ways. While they may not say it or show it physically, they can display love in more subtle, indirect ways, like spending more time with that person. Oftentimes, they do not show any signs, despite their very deep down feelings. That gotta be a fucked up way to live. How does it affect the emotional connection? As its name suggests, people with this type of attachment avoid and dismiss connection attempts. They're uncomfortable with even a little bit of intimacy, even the minimum level required to maintain a relationship. So that's the reason why that card that came out in the sexual tarot. No, okay. Oh my gosh, let me get it. Ouch. That card that came out in the sexual tarot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, here you go. Now, that's what it is. Let's see if I can find it. That card where I said that it did have something to do with like erectile dysfunction could have been a part of, because yeah, absolutely. This shit is crazy. Okay. Oh, my thumb hurts. Freak. Hold on. Where she was, there it is. This one right here. Right? This actually happened with me and Quasi one time. He acted this way in bed. Just how that man is looking. And I didn't know what the hell was going on. So, it affects an emotional connection. As its name suggests, people with this type of attachment avoid and dismiss connection attempts. They are uncomfortable with being intimate, even the minimum level required to maintain this relationship with a woman and or with somebody. Their partner reaches out for their partner reaches out for more of them, and each time they avoid it. So that's why I said when I was talking about how the horse when I was talking about how there are horses out there, and you know how horses be grazing and eating, and that they could just have their penis showing, and how she's like the way her back is like curved, and you know how she's sitting like to one side like that. and looking at that horse, and that he literally probably couldn't get erectile. He probably couldn't get an erection. And so she's looking out the window like, damn. Okay? And he like, damn, I can't get it up. So that can actually, and then look, that's Seven of Swords. That can actually happen with men because of emotions that they are repressing. And then, like I said, and even thinking about what I went through with Quasi, the thing about it is that I constantly tried to communicate with this man about his feelings. Constantly. Constantly. And he only wanted to show emotions through sex. That's it. And I was like, nah, I ain't doing that with you. Mm-mm. It's a sad dance that is unsustainable. For every time you try to come towards them intimately, they avoid you. Either the partner gives up when they realize they cannot get what they need. Exactly what this picture is doing. She looking at that horse. The partner gives up when they realize they cannot get what they need. Or the avoidant will run away. Avoid the intimacy. So what was crazy with the whole Quasi situation, that I feel like not only did he avoid intimacy, he instantly ran to go lay it with another person. Like instantly. Like, I don't like what I feel about her. So like maybe it gave him like this jolt of energy to like communicate with other women in a way, like flirt with them and do stuff like that. And then over here on between he and I, it was abusive. It was completely like, what? And he didn't think I could see that. He did not think that I knew. If you are so hypersexual that if I haven't had sex with you in 6 months, what have you been doing? You see my point? What have you been doing? As hypersexual as you are. Get out of here. Okay? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I remember he would text me like, I do love you. Like, boy, get the fuck out of here. I'm good. Okay? And I wouldn't say that that was being dismissive, avoidant. That was being dismissive. You're dismissed. Okay? Um, yeah. So I'm grateful for being able to know that this information is here. And it just says practice expressing your feelings, communicate your needs, remind yourself that emotions are normal. Okay, I don't like to use that word normal. Emotions, healthy ways of expressing your feelings is absolutely paramount to being a well-rounded person. Period. Yeah, reflect on your upbringing. Reflect on your upbringing. And so many times, a lot of black men, especially, don't want to talk about their upbringing in a way that they can feel a woman can actually relate. So, like, especially in the hood, this is why you see so many black people in the hood trauma bond, because it's like, oh shit, we come from the same place with woo. So if both people are still at the same conscious level of what in what is it called right here? What's that word say it's doing? Avoiding talking about and acknowledging that they're still attached to toxicity, but we love each other. Somebody got to take the high road. Because we can't be raising children that's repeating that shit. And it said it. It continues for generations. So I'm glad to know about it. And if I forget the word, it's over there. It's over there. And it's not something I can write a definition on. It's not something that I can write a definition on. So, you know, we won't even attempt to. We won't even attempt to. I don't know who that was or what that was, but I deleted it. I told my daughter that whenever we're whenever we're yeah, I don't know who the fuck Michael Solomon is, but whenever we're when she's in my chat and she sees chat box, I tell her, I say, you can tell by just reading the comment. Read the comment. If whatever I'm talking about, the commentator, whether it's a real commentator or a bot, whatever, it is going what I'm saying, let it stay. But it's when it's those bots that come in and they throw like 5, 6, 7, like all at one time. People brains don't even work like that, and they throw up a whole bunch of shit. That's a bot. That's what I call like a little chat, a chat tyrant. So they're gonna get blocked. I don't even read that shit. So yeah. Whoo child. Mm mm mm. Damn, I'm telling you that shit, man. Just imagine you go to school to get a degree to do this. I got mine straight up from life, right? Straight up from life. And being willing to like read and comprehend and see what's going on. So, we will call, matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and make a card. I don't have any more cards over here. She got some, but I don't have none over here. 7 of wands in the reverse coming out. We're going to make a card for it. Yeah, so the partner is guarded. We're gonna make some cards. Your partner or person feels insecure and showing signs of, what is it called? Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Dismissive avoidant. Dismissive avoidance. Okay, and we're gonna say the insecurity mm-hmm. Okay, your partner feels insecure and showing signs of dismissive avoidance. Okay, so this is under a no contact one. Okay, so that's what they could be feeling. And then your partner or person feels abandoned by your non communicative oh, I like how I wrote this one better. Your partner or person feels abandoned by your non communicative emotional abandonment. Okay? Trying to see how to put that shit in there together. Emotional abandonment. dismissive, mm-hmm, yeah. And what was that other one? You made me feel rejected by not doing this. Fill in the blank. See, this is going to definitely help me in my practice, baby. Fill in the blank. All right. We add these to the, and so we're saying, can you communicate your needs in a way that he understands? Absolutely. Let's write that as a question. Can you communicate? Oh, my handwriting's terrible. Can you communicate your needs in a way that he or she understands, not understand? Okay, that's another one. What else have we gotten from this session for our cards? Okay, so let's see. Right here, this we still at the Seven of Wands part. What do they need sexually? I think that's important too. What does your partner slash person need? I think I'm adding that in there so I can probably be more open-minded to counseling couples. Hey, everybody. Couples that are more fluid sexually, okay? What does your partner person need sexually that you have not or will not or refuse to provide? Okay? So that will open the door to talk about sex. Okay? And then I need a card that says, let's talk about sex. Because that's going to open the door. Let's talk about sex. Got it. Okay, so you guys, these picks are actually helping me to continue to expound upon my twin flame oracles. Okay, so we got that Seven of Wands, and so I feel like what'll happen is right now in this moment, I want to see what cards come out so that I can add that into it. Yeah, I can add that into it. Okay, so um, yeah. So let's see. While we saying let's talk about sex. So what does your partner need? What does your partner need sexually? Okay, that's important. Because sometimes masculines and feminines, when they have these communication issues, they can't actually communicate what they need, okay, in the bedroom. All right? What they need, okay? And sometimes, depending on upbringings and things like that of both people, I can't, me myself personally, I don't like for my man to speak to me vulgarly. Okay? So I don't like that at all. So that is something that I need. So if and then this pertains to your love languages. Okay? Yeah, thank you, Spirit. Refer to your love language. Thank you, Spirit. I knew I needed to write something else. Refer to your love language. Okay? To go deeper. Mm-hmm. Thank you. To go deeper. Yeah, I can see myself writing books and everything, being in my home space and my study or whatever, and writing my books and everything. Yeah, I can see this. Let's do it. I'm ready. Okay. So let's see. Let's pull some cards here with the sexual tarot and see what we can see. However that's going to fit into it, guys, it's a part of it. We're going to see. Y'all know how we do our bills over here. Okay. Eventually, I would love to like pull away all my personal stuff on this channel and develop it into my YouTube custom designed psychic intuitive counseling sessions. Okay. We don't know the name of it yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't gonna put all that out there, you know. All right, Spirit, show me. We would like to know, what does the partner need sexually that they may not be saying, you know? Let's see. So I'm gonna write up these stickers, these sticky notes by way of what I first get as a first imprint. So it might be a little bit wild and risque, you know, because we're adults, okay? 18 and up for this channel. And well, I like to say 21 and up shit. But we gonna see. This is getting me ready to do another session for me doing my twin flame. Okay, so what do we see here? All right, King of Swords came out. This was the card. This was the card. I'm covering up her butt and her breasts are out. Okay, so let's see. Now these are the kind of cards I see why YouTube be like, you know, cover it up, but some of the other ones that are spiritual, like, come on now. You should say 18 and up. So get your ass out of here. King of Swords. By the way, for the record, all mines are not for children. I always select that on my live streams. Swords. King of Swords. Fondling. The magic of the black orchid. Love is made of strength. True love is capable of going beyond strength. There are different kinds of strength. Okay. The reason that I did read the book for this first is because at first sight, it shows that somebody is watching. So at first sight on this picture, it looks like this masculine likes for women to serve him. Serve him sexually. Okay? But I'm literally feeling like I gotta say what I see. And there's a third party that knows this person loves you. That's what I'm getting. There's a third party that knows this person loves you. And then we're going to write, it's your submissiveness. That's what I'm getting. It's your submissiveness. Submissiveness. Because whoever, it's talking about the black orchid. So whoever, yeah, this person loves you. That's what it says. There's a third party that knows this person loves you. And then I'm getting, I like to watch you serve me. And that's all we're going to put. It doesn't have to be explicit. I like to watch you serve me. All right, what else? We got to get some spiciness in now. So we'll do another session. I don't know how soon of us making the twin flame oracles. Maybe I'll come up with a new art design. I don't know. I like to keep my cards fresh, but I haven't came up with a new design yet. I ain't seen nothing to capture my energy about, you know, twin flame. We gonna see. If it ain't happening, it ain't happening. We ain't gonna, you know, force it. Oh, that jumped out and jumped in the reverse. And this is the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. So it's literally showing that this person, I mean, if he coming towards her and it comes in reverse, I mean, in the upright, he coming towards her. In reverse, he can't come towards her. So Knight of Cups. Damn it. Modesty. The magic of the red candle is awareness of oneself and sexuality born of shame. Is awareness of oneself and sexuality born of shame or discretion. Without encounters with others, you cannot find yourself. So, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Because it says in the first one, this person loves how you, there's a third party that knows this person loves you. I like to watch you serve me. I don't know. Let me. I feel like I know what that's saying, child, but I don't want to speculate. Where's the twin flame oracles? Spirit, which one is it? Because we got 2 bundles now. We've been working. Which one is it, Spirit? I don't know why I'm hearing you say the yellow and the red. Okay. What is he saying right here? Because what I'm first getting at first is that he can't come towards you. Because in the upright, it's like this. But it came out like that. But because I like the way that the person wanted to write this particular meanings to their art under the Knight of Cups. And I'm getting this part about without encounters with others, you cannot find yourself. So this man is having sexual partners. This man is having sex with other women but can't find. Oh, okay. Okay. So the message is no matter how many women, and I'm going to be curt with this, I fuck, they are not you. That's what I'm putting for that. Because, see, we need to hear that succinctly, okay? But let me see. Show me what you want me to see, Spirit. Okay. Oh, my God. Child, look at it. The card says, whose dick is this? How I woke up to the Warlock's attempt to destiny swap my true twin flame journey. So that's crazy, right? Look at the magic in that. Look at the alchemy. The alchemy. Literally, I wrote that this is giving me that this, no matter how many women I fuck, they are not you. And then look, it's the same thing. When I was like, wait a minute, whose dick is this? This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. That's crazy. What else you want me to see, Spirit? That is amazing, balls. What else you want me to see? She or he has the best soul snatching sex. I can't make it up. She or he has the best soul snatching sex in this world. Oh my gosh. I picked the right bundle with the yellow, and look, I needed clarity. Like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Okay. Let's continue. We're still talking about sex. We want to know what the partner or your person feels they need sexually. This is adding to my twin flame oracles. Oh shit. Oh shit. This that risque one. Hold on. This that risque one. Okay. So your person needs. Child, what the hell? Let me see. Let me keep it PC or PG as possible. It's still daytime. Four of Swords. Masturbating. Okay. The magic of black pepper. So this person is ready to come. This person ain't getting it. This person. Oh my goodness. Your person, a partner, is not having sexual relations with nobody but themselves. Hashtag self-pleasure. Hashtag masturbation. Wow. So, okay. They not getting it. They not having sex with nobody else. They're not. They're not. There's some shit going on. Some shit's happening, man. And I know for men, it's especially more difficult because of the fact that, you know, if they're dealing with stuff about work and money and shit like that, child support, whatever type shit that, you know, and I've learned this about men, you know, over time, that they just really need to calm. They just really need to calm down. Okay, let's put it like that. I really need to calm down. We need to write a card about that. I really need to calm down, okay? Please help me. Okay? I really need to calm and then hashtag sexually frustrated. Okay? And so, but see, here's the thing. Like I said, we already talked about the avoidance. So you can't just want to come, you can't do that to a woman because, I mean, I'm going to talk about to the divine feminine. You can't do that. You can't come and put it in there and turn on her ignition, rev up the motor, rev up the engine and just get out and walk away. You cannot do that. So that's why divine feminine will shut it down and you cannot be doing it with her. Come on now. Masculine's gonna have to use a lot more God sense and get up out of their flesh. You are creating your own digital resume through what you're doing on social media. Okay. I don't know why this card comes out pretty much every time I pull. I don't know if I feel like I need to put some shit on there. They are watching you. I gotta put some shit on there because every time it comes out, I'm like, okay, and what y'all saying? They're watching you. All right, now we have put a little bit more energy into this card that makes sense how it pops out. Okay, they are watching you perform. Okay, cool, good, thank you. Start sending donations to show your appreciation and your love and everything. Okay, how about that? How about that? There's a woman standing in his way. There it is. There it is. There it is. He's exhausted. He's exhausted with the current state of things. He's exhausted with the current state of things. Sex ain't right. So he's not happy at all. He's not happy. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't feel and I feel like with this starting off with the King of Swords like this, yeah, he ain't happy. That's the truth. We need to make a card that clearly says it, right? He or she is not happy. I'm so glad I'm going to have my daughter write this up because my handwriting is out of control. He or she is not happy with their life's current circumstances or with their current life circumstances. Child. Well, as I continue to heal my twin flame connection, hopefully it'll get to the point where I'm healing many others, helping many others. Oh, wow. So he wants to talk. He definitely wants to talk, but guess what? You just don't even know, okay? You just don't even know. It's like that is the Page of Cups. Page of Cups. Jealousy. Jealousy. The magic of the ink. Doubts are sinking. Doubts are slinking along in the distance. You must find a way to communicate and meet in spite of the considerable distance. So I feel like I want to talk, but there's a blockage. Could that be so? I want to talk. I am ready to talk. Communicate. But I fill in the blanks. I am ready to talk or communicate. But you what? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I what? Is there a block? They're frustrated with that 7 of Wands showing up here like this. But I would. But I would. I don't want to say, but I can't. I don't want to say that. So I want to know, but I would. What is blocking the communication? It's totally a block. Totally a block. I'm being blocked. Feeling powerless, unproductive, victim mentality, trapped, restricted, helpless, imprisonment. What the fuck is going on? What is this imprisonment? What is this Eight of Swords trying to tell us, beloved? What's it trying to tell us? They're ready to communicate. They're trying to find their voice. Mental imprisonment. That's it. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to start. So that's what it is. Where to start. So is a lot of shit going on? Is it a lot of shit going on? What's the blockage? It's a lot of shit going on. What's happening? Uh-oh. What's the reason? So I feel like that Seven of Wands talking about that complete exhaustion and overload is like, it's spiritual. Totally. Anything having to do with the sevens, baby, you can know that the universe is orchestrating that. For a fact. So let's see. Let's see. What's causing this blockage? What's causing this, cat got the tongue type shit? Oh yeah, cat got your tongue. But he gonna find his street, gonna find his strength. Okay, so what is so something is fated to happen with now it's coming out with these eights. So we started off with the seven, now we getting these eights, so something is fated. And also that new moon that just happened. And literally like knowing that you moving on. You moving on. I don't know where to start, but I know I don't have much time. I'm ready to talk and communicate, but I don't know where to start. But I know I have to do it now. So are they gonna do it now? Are they gonna do it now? I'm gonna make another card and say time is of the essence. I say that all the time. Time is of the essence, baby. And with that one, we're going to use the sexual tarot, the next question I just said. We gonna put some pictures with those. She told you she's in love and she should move on. Exactly, Lorraine. She told you she's in love and you should move on. She didn't tell me it was with my cousins and brother. Ain't no coming back. Oh, damn, Ghost. I sure hate that happened to you. See, but that's those karmic lessons. Those kind of karmic lessons end up being the Most High God's blessings. So that rejection was a blessing. That rejection was a blessing, baby. Okay? Do know that. And you right, Lorraine. Time is of the essence. Okay? So let's see. He gonna get the strength. It's saying right here. And that's the Most High God giving him the strength. For whatever reason, he needed some strength, some reassurance. You got a lot of solar plexus energy here. Okay? So this is definitely being orchestrated by the universe. Okay. I felt that energy and how it jumped out. Yeah. Y'all, I'd be watching the afterplay. It'd be like a lag. It's so crazy how it be lagging over here. And I can feel the energy of the card and how it jumps out. Heartbreak. So look what Ghost just said about the heartbreak. And look, heartbreak, deceit, disappointment, unrealistic turmoil, avoiding the conflict. So I'm going to take it that he wants to avoid the conflict. So there we go. Class, what did we learn so deeply about today? What is that syndrome called? I think I'm going to just write one damn card on it too. Well, these cards are pretty long, so I'll be able to write that and then put some bullets. Okay? Literally, what's it called? Dismissive, avoidant, attachment. So that's exactly what this person is practicing. For whatever reason. Dismissive, avoidant, attachment. Okay? That's what they're doing. But we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay? Dismissive, avoidant. Okay? All right? And then, okay, they're being dismissive, avoidant, right? And which one did they say which are the ones? Okay, so they're being secretive. So they know they're going to tell you some dirty truths. They're being dismissive of how you feeling about them taking so fucking long to come on with the truth. They're being arrogant, feeling like, well, why should I tell you? You made me mad. I'm going to call it adult temper tantrums. Because that's what it be tied to. Based on my experience. Being distrusting. So, okay, I'm going to write these bullets. Okay? Fear of abandonment. And however this card falls out in a pix, we'll take it from there. And suppressing their emotions. So that's what I feel with that Eight of Swords coming out. Suppressing their emotions. Okay, and the fact that it came up as a Knight of Cups, meaning like they're being very restrictive on themselves. They're restricting themselves. And it says there's a third party here. It says it right here. There's another woman. So when I said I can't come to you, I can't come to you now because of her. I'm about to write that shit right now. Hold on, let me put this back here. I can't come to you right now because of her. So that's why I tell y'all, when y'all see me do these psychic intuitive council sessions, and I be making cards as I go along too. And then we do another session where some more shit come out and we creating the cards, and then it's time to use the cards. So you see how it's all flowing and growing. I cannot come to you because of her. Just like that. And then there's another card. So we're going to put here married. We're going to put baby mama. We're going to put my mama. And we're going to also put my daughter. Put an S with daughters. Or her or them. Okay, there we go. Married, baby mama, my mama, her mama. Yeah, I like that. Married and baby mama go together. Married baby mama. A wife. Yeah. Baby mama. My mama in my business. My daughter's got a problem with you. Her mama got a problem with me. We gonna cover it all. And then we gonna do another one for a man. See, I like to get down, because we ain't got time to be playing with our love lives. Because people expect for commitments and shit, that take time, and we supposed to grow together and all this and that, and we got a lot of responsibility as human beings. I cannot come to you because of him or them. And then it is also married, baby daddy. I ain't putting boyfriend on here because we talking about twin flames. Boyfriends don't count. Married, baby daddy, because the baby count, right? I'm putting my mama or dad or family. For him, I put my family like that, but I got to put it like that because it's talking about like his parents is having a big influence. Okay, over here, I needed to put it like I wrote it over here because it means something. Okay, and then my sons, my son or sons, and his daddy got a problem with me. Child, it's deep. Because that should be happening. I don't think you ought to marry that girl's son. In those cases where the mother passed away and the daddy reared them up, and now the daddy taking on that protectiveness and know the little hoochie mama's trying to get his son. Child, that is. Let's go. Chop, chop. What else the twin flame want to say in these sexual magic cards? Pull the fool here? Huh? Fool here? Hello? Okay. That's a long ass drink. I hope my doggone salmon is good. Okay, what else? Who said something? Jacob, she is afraid of the third party. She's stopped because the third party will have reward. She's working with the third party. Really? There'd be a lot of drama. Don't it be in these relationships? My lunch is here, y'all. / dinner. DV. Oh, look, there she go right there. Look, it's another woman in that right there. That face. 5 of Cups. Didn't I tell you I saw that 5 of Cups? 5 of Cups. He ain't happy. He is not happy. Told y'all I saw that 5 of Cups in the energy. 5 of Cups. Child, we don't be playing games. Mind games and shit. 5 of Cups. Guilt. The magic of the glowing ember. The weight of the past and its consequences is always remembered. You must be left behind to break overly oppressive attachments. So, we're going to go ahead and say, I have a trauma bond I can't let go of. Trauma bond. We're going to actually put this trauma bonded to the past. Blocks your future. So we did good, y'all. So I'm about to eat my lunch. What part is this class? What part is this? We did good, y'all. We got all the way through that uh dismissive avoidant attachment style, breaking down what it is. Okay? We will be coming back and we will be talking about. No, we did. We went through all of it. We talked about what it is. We talked about the causes of this type of a disorder. We talked about how it affects your emotional connection and your sense of intimacy. And yeah, we did it. We did it. So I will be labeling this one with that and not this because we didn't really get into the depth of this. We didn't. So that's how you know when spirit be guiding things. So we will be changing that thumbnail to talk about, that's what we went over, dismissive avoidant attachment. Okay, that's what we went through. So I'm gonna come back though and we gonna see. So as I meditate on the back end and see what's going on, we gonna see. Y'all know it always depends on how my stomach feel when I come back or when I'm done trying to eat. So okay, love you guys. If you want to go ahead and just hit that like button, please do so, as well as share. Thank you. That's a way of showing the love back. And if you feel so inclined to want to help me buy more equipment, supplies, make my cards and buy more laminate sheets and things like that, the donation is right there. Goddess of Love at PayPal. So I love you guys and I'll be back when I'm back. Peace. Ooh, that was a long